cheers to episode 194.
Cheers.
Water with
ice.
orange tangerine and berry Mio.
Water with strawberry pineapple. Mio.
Is that caffeinated?
No.
Mine is, technically.
Oh, yours does have the caffeine? I know some of them have like B12 or caffeine.
Mine doesn't do shit, though. Doesn't keep me awake.
Strawberry pineapple. Sunday, December 8th. Oh, 8 p.m. on the dot Eastern Time, which means it's 7 p.m. on the dot Central Time. Last regular season week of fantasy football going on live. So if you hear some distractions, this show is pulling for Evan. Pulling for Evan to get through.
Yeah, they are.
For the Chiefs. I guess have to do well. I bet Chiefs also 4.5. So that's what I'll be watching as well. Go Chiefs.
Go Pacheco.
Yes.
We'll have weekly check-ins, Pookies and Dookies as always, conference championship week debrief. We'll fill out our college football playoff bracket together, much like we do March Madness for those listening. It'll be a lot quicker, I would say, because there's less teams. I want to say this now. It doesn't matter when. I don't think we should do the one override rule because I feel like that's just too high stakes in a football bracket.
Yeah, we can't. We can't.
You could just completely shape the entire bracket if each of us got our own because, yeah. So we won't do that, but we will do best 2 out of 3 to move on, people. And then NFL Week 14 thoughts. Lions had a huge win versus the Packers on Thursday night. And then have a huge game versus the Bills this coming week. Huge game. And then last thing will be just some early takeaways on the 2 hoops teams, 2-0 both to start Big Ten play. State blowing teams out early on in the conference play. So back button. I'm not going to say that yet.
Because he thinks we're bad.
No. I'm excited about it. You said I did hate it? I don't care.
You said pre-Maui that we were not a good basketball team.
No way.
Yeah, you did.
This feels like revisionist history.
No.
I said you guys are bad.
I don't know if the word bad was used.
No, he's backtracking.
He basically said that because Xavier Booker sucks, we would be bad.
I said he's the X factor to get things going. And I think that's actually aged pretty well. I think the better he plays, the better overall the team looks.
Agreed. Against Nebraska, we were up 19 when he had 0 points. And then when he scored 11, we won by like 40.
Hell, see? Difference maker.
So, pretty good.
Yeah. What I did ask was I was asking about long-term shooting, if there was any. I didn't say it was bad.
Yeah. You said, is Michigan State just a bad shooting team? You texted that to us in the middle of the week. And I
just said, are they?
They're probably the worst team in the country. They'll never get any better. Turns out they did get better.
Yeah, it was hard. They were actually the worst in the country at the time. It was hard to get worse than that. They couldn't get worse than that.
Agreed. Water always wins this level.
So we'll see. Obviously, still we'll talk about, but like it's nice to play Minnesota and Nebraska to start Big Ten conference play.
Nebraska's a tournament team that beat Creighton in your beloved Big East, okay?
Nebraska's going to make the tournament this year. I'll take action on that.
Nebraska won at Creighton to start the season.
No, you said they're a tournament team. No, they're not.
They're widely viewed as an 8 seed right now. So
I watched them play you guys, and you guys are good. No offense. They just did not look like they did not pass the eye test of an NCAA tournament team.
That's what people say that are smarter than me.
On my great side. That was not a tournament team. One that I watched.
Joey Brackets? Who said they're a tournament team?
I mean, most people. I mean, they were like super high in all those efficiency.
They don't have the
metrics
best shooter in college basketball anymore.
Yeah, addition by subtraction.
Oh, please. They would be a tournament team if they had him on their team. Anyways.
Yeah, they're probably not. But
some hoops talk.
People thought they were.
Before we get into all that, Alex, the week that was for you?
Had golf league Tuesday. We shot 9 under. Scramble.
9 under on 9 holes.
Yep. TPC sawgrass on the sim.
No way. Island hole?
Yeah.
Front 9 or back 9?
Back.
You don't play 18?
So you birdied 17.
No, we had an eagle.
You eagled 17. You hit a hole in one.
Wait.
We had an eagle on a different hole. We parred 17.
Eagle would be a hole.
Did you hit the island green?
I did.
No way.
Like 45 feet, though. But I just bailed left.
Is that your first time ever playing that hole on a simulator?
Yeah.
Not realistic.
It looks
enough.
very small. No, most people miss. Just then you hear the little sound on the projector. Spoosh.
Yeah, it's not
Pretty
worth it.
That would be
Just did that Tuesday. Normal work week. Friday I went to a bar called Easy's Liquor Lounge.
how they spell that.
Easy.
I like that.
It's like kind of like a divier bar.
No beer there.
No, they had beer.
Liquor lounge.
Nope, they had everything.
I kind of want to. Well, it'd be a liability, but if you opened up a bar like that where there was no beer and you just forced everyone to drink liquor and see how messy it got, that would be.
It's a weird thing to want.
That would be electric.
So did that Friday, and then Saturday did not do much, and then today did not do much either. That's it.
Evan?
Let's see. This week, count down the days to Christmas break.
How many?
2 weeks. 10 days of school left. 7. Well, technically, there's 7.
What day you done?
A week from Friday. Yeah, I don't know.
You should make. Remember when I
That's
talked
when my
about
break starts.
a long time ago, like those little chains to count down? You guys can make your countdown chain. Rip one off every day.
The last 3 days though are half days.
Oh, what a breeze!
For exams. Other than that, 1-2 games this week. JV, Tuesday and Thursday, I should say. Varsity 1-2 games this week as well.
Who did we beat?
Tuesday and Friday. Beat Clinton on Tuesday. Beat Bedford on Thursday/Friday.
That sucked. Your guys' senior year when we went to Clinton and lost. That was a brutal one. That was embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
Just should never, no business losing that game.
Let's see. Other than that, not much of anything. I didn't do crap yesterday. Felt like crap. And then today, good old ref and hoopsters all day for 12 games.
How'd that go? You have fun?
No, it's miserable.
This is at Siena Heights, right?
Tecumseh High School.
They don't do it at Siena anymore?
No,
They do
Siena-
hoopsters at Tecumseh.
They've been doing it. Ever since I started reffing it, was always been at Tecumseh. It's been at Tecumseh for 6, 7, 8 years now.
Do they split up the varsity gym going like 4 ways?
3 ways.
3 ways with the dividers down.
And then there's a court at the middle school.
Damn, hoopsters. I wonder what happened. You can get more games in there for sure. You can play like 7 at a time.
1, 2,
In
3, 4.
Siena's?
There's 5 courts at Siena's in there. Far left.
It might be 5.
Main court.
Yeah, 5.
Oh, the center
And
court
court.
was
Center one is like here in prime time.
NBA.
Court 5 all the way to the right is blue floor, and you're like, oh, dude,
This is not even the same gym. This game doesn't even count.
It's like running out.
Oh, it does though. It has you pressing teams when you're up by 25 and the other teams getting pissed off at you.
Win by 60, and we're firing threes 4 seconds after we get to.
Playing like there's a selection committee and it point differential matters.
We were putting up points in hoopsters. We never lost a game in hoopsters.
Well, first year.
Sick brag.
Well, we came a long way. I was on the team that lost every game in hoopsters when we were 5th grade. And was in 4th grade playing kids in 7th and 8th grade, and we did not win a single game.
7th and 8th grade, we won every game and by a combined like 35 points each time.
Started from the bottom. Yeah, it works their way up.
So it's a good time.
Evan, what offense do you run for JV basketball? What's the kind of scheme?
4 out, 1 in.
Wisconsin.
No, we don't run that.
Why not?
Because
The only play at you and I know that play. You got shit all the time.
we don't run the flex, back cut, up screen, reverse. We don't run that.
5 out of 3. Catch and shoot.
Kick it to the roll.
Any special defense that we play or no?
Man-to-man.
Man principles.
Press a little bit, and then we'll mix it.
We dumped the
Matchup zone. That was super confusing.
Fist?
Yeah, but what did we fist. Just sit in the zone.
1-2-2. It's matchup zone, Alex. It was man.
Yeah.
It was also zone.
Why didn't we just run?
It just doesn't like. I understand that kind of makes sense when you do it, but like it doesn't make sense.
Well, let's just run man. You know.
Yeah.
Just
We're
like
gonna
every
zone.
college basketball team in the country besides Syracuse.
We're going to
Let's just run
zone
man.
until there's a guy in your area. Then you're going to man him up.
I think they did that, so
we're not athletic enough.
We protected so we protected
Correct.
the paint. So teams who treat it as zone, it would be easier for us.
Hard to box out either way because you don't know who you got.
You should have just played a 2-3.
If you were on the ball, your foot was inside the paint. Like one foot was inside the paint at all times. Because I always play the high up, like elbow spots, but
and then you got to rotate down, cover the block, and you get stuck with a big man. And you're like,
the helper
down here.
Boxing out in a zone is impossible. It really is.
Should have just played man, but then again, we were playing like Ipsy Lincoln.
We played like everybody on the opposite side. We played Huron, Bedford, Skyline, Pioneer.
We were playing teams that were simply more athletic than us. We couldn't man up with them.
Yeah, we played like 4 non-conference games. Now we play like 8 or 9. Because we only play teams.
Cupcakes.
We only play teams on our side. Alex, we played Manchester and we beat them by 35.
Yeah. Yes. We did, but I guess Clinton was supposed to be a cupcake and we lost. So
correct. All right. I don't have much. I guess it'll be a quick recap week. It was a busy week. I feel like it was busy for work, but we're through it now. Went to PF Chang's for one of Marissa's cousins' birthday. Solid. Got some. What did I get? Oh, I got pad thai. Delicious. And then weather-wise update for you, Alex. It's been kind of blistery, cold, windy, just bone chilling. And it's really only on the thermometer reads like 20 degrees, so it can get colder and it will get colder. But the wind was brutal this week. But today, I don't know how it was in Tecumseh. It was a spring day. It was like 45, 50 degrees. It felt great.
Unless you're stuck inside all day.
Unless you're inside wrecking your roosters. Went for a walk today. Didn't even need a jacket. I was like, this is nice.
100% chance of rain tomorrow morning, though. So,
all right.
It's like 54 here, and everyone's in winter coats and stocking caps walking their dogs in the morning. Yeah, it's pretty chilly.
Wow.
People are not dealing well. I wore shorts to the gym, and I was getting some weird looks. Like, this guy thinks he's tougher than the weather.
You guys deserve it down there.
It's 61. Right.
Although, Alex, I guess you were still into Tecumseh. The day we went to KFM's, that was basically what it was the rest of the week. It was that chilling cold.
Oh, yes.
So bad. I was like, Alex has to be miserable with this blood.
I did not enjoy it.
From hunting to that.
We went hunting.
I went with a walk with my mom with the dog, and I was like dead. I'm like, I don't know how you guys do this. This is miserable out here. It's like my 60 degrees.
It's always a humbling reminder, too, when you start getting to this and you're just like, oh, man, I just have to hope my car turns on every time. Like, just the chance it doesn't, just simply, you can hear it. It's getting tougher. And you're like, oh, God. Yeah. So
don't miss that.
That was this week. Let's talk some sports.
No.
Pookies and Dookies, as always. We can stay a little quick through this, I guess, because I have more thoughts about the college football stuff and conference championship takeaways. A lot of mine are about that, but if you guys had any specific Pookies and Dookies that you want to get off your chest to start, go ahead.
I do. It's that the actual true Heisman finalists were actually playing this weekend, and there should only be 3 people going to New York.
Childs.
No.
Genty, Dylan Gabriel, and let's guess the third, Alex.
Nope.
I know the 2.
Scatabo.
Yep.
Scatabo.
You're missing one Friday night.
And Gabriel.
No, he did not play Friday
Army's
night.
Quarterback or Genty?
Yes, Grant. I'm trying to look up his name.
Something?
Bryson. Nope, that's not him. Yes,
Eli's the Navy guy.
Yes, it is. It is him. Yeah, Bryson Daly. Army's quarterback.
Yeah, that's a no for
4
me.
touchdowns.
But I appreciate you narrowing those 3 down.
29 rushing touchdowns on the year, Grant. Tied for the lead in the country.
That's some Blake Corum shit.
So those are my Pookies. Dookie, Penn State can't win a big game. I'm so happy. I'm so happy Penn State lost.
All things considered, they played
Trustry, Evan, I think stock could be up on Penn State. They did look pretty good.
Stock always
Their defense
down.
didn't, though.
But I appreciate you getting your jabs in. But Trustry, you can say it. Like, they did better than I thought.
Stock always down.
Okay.
Oregon had that no matter what.
Yeah, they did have a comforting lead, but
everybody like, well, Penn State had the ball the last drive. They threw an interception. Yeah, but they were up 8. Oregon wasn't going to lose it on that drive. You're telling me
That's true.
if Penn State would have scored quick and tied it up, you're telling me Oregon's not driving right down the field and scoring?
You never know. Abdul-Carr strip sack, returns it for a touchdown, wins the game, and Lucas Oil
Abdul-Carr got
out.
juked out like multiple times by Gabriel. There's sometimes they didn't even block him.
So he's going too far upfield. Yeah.
He was like the
great
read
game.
guy, and it was like a read like boot a couple times, and Gabriel was just like, "Yeah, I don't have to worry about you."
Oh, that actually makes sense because Gabriel's like the only quarterback in the Big Ten that's going to like routinely get up in the pocket and like make the right play downfield.
Alex, thoughts on Oregon's uniforms?
I liked them.
I love them.
There were some people, the traditional people like me, even though it wasn't a rivalry game. Some people are like, "Oh, they have to wear their traditional colors."
That's what
Oregon,
you wanted.
I did not care because Oregon doesn't have a traditional color, but I'm saying like a rivalry game. Auburn, Alabama.
What did you want them to wear? I guess.
I know what my
No, I
favorite
love them.
Oregon
I didn't
uniform
want
is.
to wear the traditional, but I saw some tweets saying that Oregon should have just wore their regular home uniforms,
Oh no, I liked
green or yellow, not black.
Some people were saying that the green didn't go with the all black.
What? Yes, it did. Did you look at the face mask?
The helmet was incredible.
Yeah, I'm just saying people thought that it was like.
I
Not a
thought
good
Dallas, not Dallas, LOL. SMU's Dallas uniforms looked great. Sean McDonough, phenomenal
they're
once
sexy.
again.
I think these are the best Oregon. Maybe it's the Rose Bowl patch, but that was like the cleanest look. I love that. I like the retro duck is the best part right there. I love that.
I always liked anytime that they wore their chrome, just silver chrome helmets with like the wings on it or the Oregon on it. I don't know why, but it's just like Oregon should like trademark just the chrome helmets only, and nobody else gets to wear the chrome silver.
Yeah, that's nice. With the black, maybe?
Just anything. Like, they were the first ones to wear them in the Rose Bowl against Wisconsin, and everybody was like flipping out, like, what is this technology putting on a helmet? And then ever since then, they just, obviously, they're the front runners for all uniform combinations.
That's a clean look, too. They just do it better. I mean, they
do it better.
I don't like their speckled ones, but that's just me.
The jersey?
The speckled jerseys. I don't like speckled jerseys. It's cheesy.
Noon slate of the Big 12 championship. Snooze fest.
Michigan State basketball.
That's my Pookie, though.
Michigan State basketball was on.
Is Arizona State really stood out to me. They have their big win against BYU, right? So that's a very emotional, crazy end of game sequence. Fans rush the field, get them off. They win that. They go to Arizona in what is a perceived letdown spot.
No pity for the kitty, Grant. Come on.
Oh, I like that. That's a rivalry weekend. Did someone say that?
Yeah,
was that a
Dillingham
thing
said that at the halftime. He said, "No mother effing pity for the kitty."
He's a loser.
He is.
I can't stand him.
But he's a winner.
This year,
he's the coach of the year in college football.
Yes.
He wins, yes, but
he's the coach of the year.
Like, I wouldn't be friends with that guy.
Well,
you remind me a lot
Alex,
of him.
He gave his bonuses to all the...
Yeah, that was nice of him.
But anyways, they beat their rival, Pity for the Kitty, by like 40. And then they go into the conference title game against a seasoned Big 12 team in Iowa State, who's supposed to be a tough, gritty team, and they out-physicaled them with Scattaboo, and they blew the doors off of them. So Arizona State just looked like a problem the last few weeks.
James Franklin of the Big 12.
Yeah.
That was their first 10-win season. After all the times that they were ranked inside the top 10.
That can't be right.
I swear to God. It's their first 10-win season.
I got to look that up. That feels impossible. They won the Big 12 once, I thought.
No.
9-3. They went to multiple Big 12 championships, but they always had 3 losses, Grant. Because they would lose to Iowa. And then they would only lose 2 in the conference. Boom, have 3 losses. Everybody still loved them for some weird reason. They had Brock Purdy and David Montgomery. They couldn't win a Big 12 championship.
That's serious. Crazy. That's their first 10 win.
They had David Montgomery in the backfield. They couldn't win.
Yeah, he's worth like 400 yards.
They also
did he go there?
Alan Lazard.
Wow.
Well, it's better than Toledo, but like Ohio's coach is leaving for Charlotte. I think that's a lateral move.
Well, he probably was getting more money.
I don't give a shit.
Maybe he's from Charlotte.
I doubt
Poggi, he wants to be in that tree.
Poggi fired. But also, again, I actually probably don't
45.
blame them because, like, the Tuesday and Wednesday games has to be getting old.
Yeah, it probably sucks. The max
Show up to every single weekend and every single game and be like, oh, there's 50 fans here.
Iowa State Charlotte is better.
Made the title game in 2020 and lost to Oklahoma by 6 points. Spencer Rattler, MVP of the Big 12 championship.
They're showing highlights of that during the broadcast.
2021 Big 12 championship. You will never in a million years guess who won the MVP of that game.
2020.
Well, I don't know the teams.
Guy played college football. I think you can get the teams, but you cannot get the quarterback. So everyone listening along, think brain blast here. If you're saying it right now, we should give you like a $10 coupon or something.
2021
Big 12 title game.
Kansas State first.
No, that was 2022. So that's the year after that.
Shit.
Your Pookie won.
Oklahoma and Texas.
No, both wrong.
It's Baylor versus Oklahoma State.
Correct.
Oh,
the MVP.
Baylor won in an upset.
Yes, because Sean McDonough voice crack when
Yes.
Oklahoma State was
We
running.
watched
A
that.
chance to make the playoff.
Birmingham apartment.
I was
Two
at
TVs up.
Harrison
The
Roadhouse for
quarterback
that.
of Baylor. I didn't know this guy's not a real person.
It's Caden Salter.
His
No,
name.
no. I know it.
No, you will not. I want to say it because you're just going to
He's a
waste that air.
backup. He was a backup, and he had to play in that game.
He could have been, yeah, because I don't know
I think he
this
was a
guy's
freshman.
name.
Just say his first name. Let me see if I can get his last name.
Blake.
Martinez.
No.
Okay.
It's crazy to look at the MVP list.
Blake Sharpen.
MVP.
Blake Sharpen.
Shapen.
Shapen.
That's really close.
How did that come to my head? No idea.
This list is so funny. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Blake Shapen, Deuce Vaughn, Quinn Ewers. It's just nuts. The Blake Shapen is a Big 12 championship game MVP.
Transferred a year later.
That's your fun fact of the day. My other Pookies were, I gave specifically Pookies to Georgia and Boise State. It always impresses me when you beat a team twice in the same year and like they were kind of tough matchups. It wasn't like a blowout either time or the second
Chiefs
time.
are on.
We have kick and Arrowhead. So that was a Pookie. My Dookies,
I'll give you one big dookie.
Oh, go ahead.
Mine's a college dookie. Is all the analysts or all the people that they were just throwing on the TVs to get their clickbait or to get I don't know what do you want to call it. Speak for one side, even though they had they put Darren Sharper on TV. I know he's an ESPN analyst, but his argument was just all for Alabama, how Alabama needs to make it. All the 12 best teams, not the 12 most deserving teams. And it's like, well, you can play both sides of that. It's just all the idiots on TV just trying to get their own argument in, but we really don't care about it.
You know what they're turning it into? It's basically...
Shout out Desmond Howard, because on game day, he actually made a good point. The first time I'll ever compliment that.
Shout out to Desmond Howard.
He was up there and he's like, how about we just stop listening to all the coaches, all the 3-loss coaches, advocating for their team. Is like, don't lose. Just beat the teams that are on your roster, on your schedule. You won't have to be in this fight.
I'm checking my pulse. That is twice in 3 weeks. 1, Evan said he can't get enough of Jim Harbaugh video clips. And 2, he's now said Desmond Howard made a good point on national television. I'm still alive.
Desmond Howard's saying that right in front of Nick Saban, and Pat McAfee's sitting there like, oh. But Nick Saban kind of came back and said the same thing. He's like, don't lose games.
It's really becoming
3 carries. Come on, we're back. 3 plays,
30
3
yards.
carries.
Did he get 30 yards, or he got 9 yards and 3 carries? Alex,
10.
Nothing.
10. They got a first down.
The CFP debate, I'll give it Dookie, but on your point, Evan, it's basically becoming like Fox News versus MSNBC political shit, where they just give talking heads, and it's like no one really cares what you're saying. Like it's wild, and it's gross, and the NFL does it way better, where like you just kind of talk about the games and players, and there's a system in place that tells you. But that's what college football has always been. It's always been very subjective. It's the Wild West. There's 100.
But here's also
because of straight the schedule is like the nitty gritty of why it's so crazy. Just because it's just you can't regulate 134 teams the way you can 32 of like the cream of the crop players in the country.
I also just think like everyone. I saw a couple of times this week how like the playoff committee just needs to be all like coaches or former coaches. And I was like, if it was always former coaches, you'll never have the talk for SMU to get in the playoff, even though they made it to the conference championship. Because I feel like all the former coaches will always say, well, it should be the 12 best teams. And Alabama's clearly one of the 12 best teams. I'm not hating on Alabama. Do I think that Jalen Milroe should be in the playoff? Yes, but you also lost to Oklahoma by 21 points 2 weeks ago, and nobody was talking about it.
Yeah. I can't get the Oklahoma loss out of my head. But coaches would be, it had to be the right coaches, because coaches historically, like people, the coaches poll is a joke. Like no one cares about the coaches poll because they know. And then there's like stories throughout history of like coaches getting pissed at one another and like voting people lower because they didn't want to give props to this school. Like that would get messy in itself. It's just a disaster.
There's no good voting poll. Bring back the BCS, which is all just computer.
Just computer.
Should just 12 computer spots.
But also, there's one dude tweeted out because Heather Dinich did a video of them all sitting and watching the games. It's like, well, there's only one game on during the noon, one game on during the noon, one game on during 4, then technically 2 during the night games. And the one dude was like, I can't trust this committee. No beer, no wings.
Yeah, I saw that.
No food. And they're all sitting there all
the only person drinking something was Ward Manuel. He was drinking a sparkling water.
Hey, shout out Ward, 5-year extension.
He probably was popping a champagne bottle for his 5-year extendo. The other point I was going to say, Dookie, is that, again, I love Tessitore. I'm not saying it's their fault because they have to talk about what's
now the SEC championship.
No, I'll say like in the Big 12 game, and they were basically saying how this is a playoff elimination game, which it is, right? And it's like, oh, could they get this seed with Arizona State? And like, I do understand that's the national discussion, but it kind of sucks, the whole like playoff thing, where it almost feels like winning the Big 12 isn't the prize anymore. Like for Oregon on Saturday night, it's like, oh, can they stay the 1 seed? Will Penn State become the 1 seed if they win? Like, how about it be really cool to win the Big 10 championship? Like, that's like awesome on its own.
Said that 2 weeks ago. Like the SEC championship didn't matter for Texas and Georgia; they're automatically in.
This is why expansion is ass and conference realignment is ass.
During the games, like Scadaboo is on a big run, and then it's like we have to be reminded this is for the playoff spots. Like, well, it'd also be cool if Arizona State won the Big 12 in their first year and they were picked like 10th out of the teams to win. Like, that's awesome in its own, but the playoff, ever since they designed it, it's like overshadowed the entire sport, which it should. It's going to be cool. It's awesome. We'll talk about it in a couple seconds here, but it's like the conference championships, as someone who loves that weekend, like they should still be awesome on their own right, regardless of what playoff you're going to.
Luster this weekend. There's no doubt.
Yeah. With that being said, though, the games were awesome. So win for that. We could Pookie that, where getting rid of divisions, I think, is going to lead to more compelling games, at least in year one. I mean, every game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Saturday was a good game.
Can you imagine if it was still East and
West?
West?
Not the first one.
No. You're right. Sorry. The very first game was not. But SEC, Big 10, ACC were good.
Big 10 would still be the same way no matter what if it was East versus West. It'd be the same game.
Oh, because Oregon would be in that.
Oregon would be in the West. Penn State would be in the East.
True.
Yeah, because Oregon
would have to be West.
No, I was thinking of Indiana, where they wanted to throw Indiana, but Oregon's undefeated.
Yeah. So that was a good Pookie. I have one question before we go into more playoff nitty-gritty stuff. We can do a couple housekeeping notes. Evan, we have you on the show after being out last week. You are the resident OSU fan. We don't need to rehash any of the game. It was so long ago. I'm more asking to your perspective. I know Wyatt, your brother, has said, I think if I remember his text right, Ryan Day has to win a national championship, even if he does at Wyatt. But I think I think any Ohio State fan saying that is a little crazy. Like, they don't actually mean that. Like, if they win the title, it's going to cure a lot of their problems they have in their heads right now. Where are you at, Evan, when it comes to this playoff for Ryan Day? What does he need to do, I guess, to keep his job is my question.
I would say he has to win at least the first game. Bad draw.
That's it?
Yeah.
I would say that's where I'm kind of at too. But
if he loses that first game, it's absolutely... Absolutely, yeah, he made it. I'm a whole play behind. If he loses that first game, I think they're playing Tennessee. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yep. Tennessee at home, though, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
In the shoe.
I feel bad for Oregon still. It's bullshit. I think he has to win that first game. Tough draw for the second week. You have to play Oregon most likely in the Fiesta Bowl, I think.
Rose They already picked them.
Oh, sorry, Alex. I was working all day.
It's okay.
It is the Rose Bowl.
Oh
Wow.
my God,
Rose Bowl.
Oregon, Ohio State in the Rose Bowl.
It's like
Maybe
a classic
Tennessee.
matchup.
I hope it's not Tennessee. That would be nutty. But also, like, how much are you getting better than Ryan Day? I know Urban Meyer, there's a huge uproar about Urban Meyer this week saying that he wants to come back and coach. And then Urban Meyer to come out and say, no, I support Ryan Day and blah, blah, blah.
Crazy. He had to release a statement.
Yes.
I felt compelled to.
Mike Vrabel.
No.
I think
That was
Vrabel would be
laugh
the
out loud
only
funny.
person you fire Ryan Day for. But Vrabel's going to be getting head coaching. Like, if you're Vrabel, do you take a college, Ohio State, or do you take NFL? He's going to be
He
getting
did the Jim Harbaugh
NFL.
route.
He's going to be getting NFL interviews this week or this year.
Could do the Jimmy route.
He could, but the Bears' job
NFL,
is already
college,
open.
NFL.
Bears' job's already open. I don't think the Raiders will fire him.
Yeah, they should.
The only way the
It's not
Vrabel
his
thing I
fault.
think
He doesn't
has
have
a
a quarterback.
shot is he was on Part of My Take, I think, over the summer. And he was talking about like how he did despise college recruiting because it's like takes up your entire life on your weekends. I would think though he'd be the head guy now, and I think if Ohio State said like you have $25 million to work with, you just pick your players and all your assistants will do all the dirty work, and you just have to close
It's
some deals.
A lot easier.
Yeah, but he just doesn't seem like a booster. Like he's gonna go all
Bill
to the-
Belichick's about to do it.
the wine and cheese events,
Yeah, but
etc.
Bill Belichick's stipulation is that his son automatically becomes head coach in waiting. If
Yeah,
he gets
Bill's
hired.
trying to set up his son for the next generation.
It's like feeding your little son off the freaking tit. Like, come on.
He's the DC at Washington.
Yes.
Yeah, beat Michigan, beat Alex Orji.
But if you're Vrabel, all you really have to
Michigan's
do is
bad.
like recruit like 4 kids, and then your entire staff will take the rest of it. Like these top end programs, they're not recruiting more than 20, 25 kids anymore because you just get whoever you want out of the transfer portal.
He would scare me. He's one of the few that would scare me. What about this time? We went through the list of active. There's not many that could go to that tier of Ohio State. Because I said you could make an argument to me or anyone that Ohio State is the best job in college football. I could hear that argument.
You
It's
could
not like
definitely. I would 100% agree with you, Grant. You could argue that.
it's like a Texas. It's an LSU. I mean, you can talk about Alabama and Georgia if you want, but in terms of fertile recruiting ground, only thing in the
did
state.
Marcus Freeman play at Ohio State?
His name got brought up. Wilkins was talking about that with his Irish. Would you take him over Ryan Day?
The only thing with Marcus Freeman is you're changing the culture and the identity of the team.
It'd be
Some
tougher.
more
From a
like
fake tough
offensive
guy,
lineman.
from a fake tough guy to a actual hard nosed tough guy.
Yeah,
Freeman's a defensive linebacker type guy.
yeah.
That's why I think Vrabel would be great for Ohio State. Now Vrabel, all he has to do is just hire the perfect offensive coordinator. And if I'm Ohio State, I'm calling Colin Klein as my offensive coordinator, or just promote Brian Hartline.
Colin Klein's
Yeah,
an
you would
A&M.
definitely promote. You would definitely promote.
I would promote Brian Hartline. I also would be the guy that
To
just
head
give
coach.
Brian Hartline the job. So
What about this would be a bombshell of all bombshells. What if you could get Dan Lanning to come to Columbus?
it's so weird. I just feel bad for all Oregon fans that have to put up with that every single year. It's like you're one of the of the last like 15 years, you're probably top 5 program, and you can't retain a coach
You never felt bad for me with the Harbaugh stuff every offseason.
because he wanted that. He
Fair.
wished that upon him. He
I'm
always,
just-
but that is different.
I'm fishing for
That is different.
pity.
That is Michigan to the NFL compared to a college top 15 program right now going to another top 15 program right now.
Yeah,
Now,
but you would do him. You probably would, right?
if you're
over-
Ohio State,
You would do him?
I would not.
Boss. Immunity.
Yeah, I think. Oh my God! Oh, he got up.
He's okay.
So far behind.
Play behind.
If Dan Lanning said, "Yeah, I want to come here," I don't know what ties Dan Lanning has to anywhere. I don't know where
I don't know where Dan
he's.
Lanning's from.
I know he went to Memphis. He followed Mike Norvell around a while.
He's a Kirby Smart guy in Georgia.
Kirby Smart guy. Yeah, I don't know where he
So
played.
I'm sure you're on the same page, Evan. Where like Well, if they lose to Tennessee, that might get a little reactionary. But a school like Ohio State is not firing Ryan Day unless they have the guy already signed on a bad line of who's coming in. Because you're not going to chance it and hope you hit your guy by firing. Like, if they fire him, the hire's happening 10 hours later, probably.
Yes.
Like, it's already done.
You already have that person.
Dan Lanning is from Missouri and played at some tiny school in Missouri.
There you go. And there's no sexy names out there. I mean, like the up and coming.
Lane Kiffin.
No.
You'd be 9-3, the same shit every single year. Like Ohio State's like
Lane Kiffin's insufferable.
It's literally Urban
so
Meyer.
much.
I mean, we have a short list. I think we just named everybody: Urban Meyer, Vrabel, Freeman, Dan Lanning. Because nobody else, you're like, I don't want anybody else.
Yeah, with how much he's won. Like, that's the crazy part. He still has won a ton of games.
Yeah.
He just has one problem.
Nobody that Ohio State would go after.
Again, he's a missed field goal away from a national title.
True.
2 years ago. I mean, Alex was at New Year's Eve. The ball dropped. The reliable Ruggles was not so reliable. Oh, man. That's the only thing that got me through that night after Michigan's debacle against TCU. That actually just put a little bit of a smile on my face that the Buckeyes were in the torture chamber, too. All right. Just had to ask that question because I was curious about the fallout. I'm finding it hard to take the Ohio State fans seriously that they're like, oh, we're like, who cares about the playoff? We don't even deserve to be in it. It's like, shut up. When you strap those up against Tennessee, like it's full go. Like you're trying to win it all.
You're Ohio State. You just need to get out of the mindset that I'm a Big Ten school and I have to run the football. Ryan Day just cost himself.
Amen.
I don't care how windy it was. Don't care. Wins are relevant. Don't make that lame ass excuse.
It was hilarious that he dropped wind in the press conference. I was like, ooh, he did it again. He can't help himself.
It was a little windy out there.
Like, if you're the guy that runs PR for Ohio State's athletics, you just gotta slip him a sticky note and say, don't say anything about weather before he sits on that stage.
But also, in fairness and Ryan Day's fairness, your kicker also missed 2 field goals.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You would have 6 extra points. Okay, Michigan scores a touchdown on their last drive or whatever. I mean, but I think every single turnover in that game was in the red zone. So, I mean, that game should have been 35-28, not 13-10.
Oh, fair to say that was a debate. I think Alex was still pushing back on me, but fair to say that win was unbelievable?
No, because you won 3 games in a row.
Oh, Evan, you're supposed to be on my side. That was an unbelievable win. Come on.
Anything can happen in a rivalry game.
unbelievable.
Like, you couldn't believe it. Especially how it unfolded.
I believe
as it was going on.
As it was going on, it turned more and more believable because Ohio State wasn't doing anything.
Okay, yeah, I set that up wrong. I'll set up the way that I told them.
Loser.
If I lose, you're a loser. If I walked into the living room, Evan, and I told you before the game started that Davis Warren throws a pick to Caleb Downs and they get the ball set up on the 10, and then he also throws a pick to Jack Sawyer when they're on the 1 yard line. And I said, but Michigan still wins 13-10. You probably would have been like, that's unbelievable, Grant.
I said
that's
13-10, I probably would have laughed in your face.
Yeah. I just wanted Alex to say unbelievable, but he wouldn't cave. Because Matthew McConaughey's book says that unbelievable is a different definition than it actually is on Webster's dictionary.
Have you tried Matthew McConaughey's tuna salad, Alex?
You paused after salad.
Tuna salad.
Did not know that was a thing.
Oh, it's a huge TikTok trend right now.
Bumblebee tuna?
You haven't seen it on TikTok?
Matthew McConaughey's tuna.
Yes.
Salad.
Swear to God. Look it up.
He makes a recipe that's really good?
Yes, and everybody's been trying it on TikTok.
All right. Hook him, baby. I wonder how he's doing today. I mean, I feel like he just stays even keel about Texas, but I like to think he's like one of us, and even though he's so calm and collected, he gets very pissed when his teams lose big games.
He's everywhere. He's awesome.
He really is. Quick Michigan notes. If you guys have any Michigan State notes, we can add them in here before we fill out the bracket. But Michigan plays Alabama in the ReliaQuest Bowl.
You play Alabama?
Tampa. Yeah.
I haven't seen any of the bowl. I haven't seen shit since.
That's the only one I've seen.
You play Alabama. Really, how did that just draw? Like, okay, the number 13 team and then a 7-5 Big Ten team. Yep, you guys play each other. Good luck.
How did that happen?
They just wanted the brands. They don't get, because bowls don't matter now in the playoff. They don't care. They just and like Milrow's not going to play.
You're playing a what bowl game?
A ReliaQuest Bowl. It's in Tampa, Florida.
Is it
Tampa.
new? Like, or is it supposed to be something?
It's on New Year's Eve though. It's a little teaser into the first one of the quarterfinal games.
Alex, it's probably the Outback Bowl, just not called the Outback Bowl anymore.
But they moved it up a day.
It's on the New Year's, he said.
Eve. New Year's
31st.
New Year's Day or New Year's Eve?
Eve at night.
Eve at night?
No,
Yeah, nobody's
at noon.
watching that shit.
It's Eve at noon.
Oh, at noon.
It starts the
So
day
it is-
of. It's a leading game.
It's
big.
the Outback Bowl.
It's the Outback. I guess I should look up
What?
the bowl games. I haven't even seen shit. Any other
They're not
sexy
no.
games?
I guess we can do a second on that.
No,
but,
you don't have
I mean,
to. I haven't seen it.
The playoff it takes all the cool matchups away. You're just like they're all the Texas A&M plays USC at 10:30 at night. That might be 1,000 points. But again,
What
who's
game
playing?
is that?
The SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. All the bowl names are not what you remember. Iowa State, Miami's the Pop-Tarts Bowl. That was good theater last year for the
Cricket
Pop-Tart.
Celebration Bowl. Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl? Who the is Scooter?
It's a coffee brand. They have one in Sylvania. I drove by it on the way to KFM.
Bullshit.
No, I'm serious. Yeah, Boise State plays at 7:30 on New Year's Eve, so Michigan leads into that at noon.
Oh my god. Coastal Carolina made a bowl game and they have to play at home. That's
So it's
interesting.
2 weeks before these first round games.
Game
Yeah,
above
because Army,
Sports
Navy,
Bowl.
and then the
Oh my
week
god,
after Army, Navy.
we can watch Pat Narduzzi in Ford Field.
I'm not going to watch any
Is that
shitty bowl
Pitt?
game.
Pitt versus Toledo, Detroit, Michigan, 2 o'clock on Thursday, December 26th.
Remember when Pitt was
Mark your
undefeated?
calendars. Yeah,
Wait, who are they? Sorry, I zoned out. Who are they playing?
Pitt
Toledo.
versus
Oh, we should
Toledo.
go to that. We should go to that.
I'm cheering for Toledo.
Actually, I'll be in Auburn. I can't do that.
No, Grant's not going to that.
Pitt Toledo the day after Christmas would be so degenerate.
Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, Alex. Any idea who's playing in it? Give me a guess. Go.
Georgia Tech.
No.
Army.
No.
Navy.
ACC versus Big Ten. Come on. Go.
Duke.
No.
I looked it up.
Iowa.
That's disgusting. Boston College in Nebraska.
Ew.
Alex, who's playing in the Pop-Tarts Bowl? Give it to me. Now.
Ihiowa State.
Yes.
I gave you a hint.
versus-
I told you that one. Remember, Alex. Pull.
BYU.
Short-term memory.
Nope. Miami.
Miami.
All right, Alex.
Sorry, I couldn't
This
remember.
is the #1 bowl of all
Okay.
time. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. That's the entire title.
On the CW network.
Conferences.
Mac
ACC.
Mac versus Mountain West.
Oh, gross. Western Michigan.
False.
No, they're the first bowl game.
Eastern Michigan.
No.
Central Michigan.
No.
Miami, Ohio.
Yes.
Yes.
Against who? ACC?
No. Mountain
West.
West.
UNLV.
No. Worse.
No. San Jose State.
Colorado,
Fresno State.
Colorado State. Trans
That's
Perfect Music City Bowl. What is Trans Perfect?
What, Garrett's Broncos are the first game of bowl season, Saturday, December 14th.
Who do they play?
South Alabama.
Oh, they're gonna get
Okay,
bowl
here's the bowl
raced.
games. I see it. Chick-fil-A Bowl. Arizona State gets the Chick-fil-A. Oh, they're the 4 seed. They don't get to pick their location.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
that's-
spoilers, Evan. We'll get to it.
That's unfortunate.
So Michigan plays Bama in the Rock West. Whatever. It is what it is.
Oh,
Good uniform matchup. Also of note, Michigan fired Kirk Campbell during our break of the last show. So that did happen. I know we talked, 2 weeks ago about my candidate list. I guess those names are still valid. It's not going to be Rich Rod because I think he's already interviewing
Alex,
for a
you want
different job.
Desmond? Oh, not Alex. Grant, do you want Desmond Howard to be your offensive coordinator?
No.
I saw a tweet this
What?
week that said Desmond Howard, offensive coordinator.
Had
Just-
to be sarcasm.
I don't think it was from the Twitter account and the Twitter thread that I read.
It had to, oh, well, that person might need to be on some sort of watch list. You can't be saying Brian Greasy would be the man. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I just know that was a sign to me that the timing of it, the day after Ohio State, couple days after Ohio State, that made me a tick up, not a lot, like half a point, believe more in Sharon Moore that he's not messing around. That's a serious business. Like, I know we beat Ohio State. I don't give a shit. You're gone type of move before Bryce Underwood signs. So like he never gets to speak to Bryce Underwood while Bryce Underwood's a Wolverine. That was important. That meant a lot to me. So that's the only thing on that. Let's fill out a bracket, shall we?
South Bend, Indiana, host. State College, host. Austin, Texas, host. Holy that is sexy.
Evan could just have like a 30-minute show of himself of just thoughts, intrusive thoughts about college football bowls in the bracket.
But if you would have said at the beginning of the year,
yeah.
Okay, here you guys go. Notre Dame, Penn State, Texas, and Ohio State are all hosting a playoff game at those 4 major football stadiums.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty nuts.
Until you that's
college
when I need to remind
football
myself.
better than NFL.
When I need to remind myself the week of to enjoy that, because right now I'm still in the mode where I'm pissed off at this format and how stupid it is.
December 20th. What am I doing December 20th? If I have a basketball, I'm gonna have a basketball game that night.
Did it make you happy to see that Boise State was the 3rd team in the country on the bracket? Because I know you hate, like all of us, automatic buys and how stupid they are.
Genty,
I just
Heisman
don't think
Trophy
the auto
winner.
buys make any sense.
Makes me happy.
But
Yeah, the auto buys, auto bids is fine. Auto buys is where they went a little too far.
Here's the
mind.
thing: they created the playoff thinking that the 1 through 4 would just be the 4 major programs, 4 major.
Well, they were wrong
and
in year 1.
They were wrong in year 1.
Yeah,
because the ACC.
Let's get into it.
And they were wrong, assuming that the 1 seed would be where you want to be in the bracket.
Yeah.
But again, that's what happens when you do auto buys. So we start first round. These games will be the week of December 20th. This one at the top here, Clemson versus Texas. I would do want to
4 o'clock on Max
or TNT. I'm pulling up the little other things here. I wonder how the TNT broadcast is going to look. That's crazy. Never seen a college football game on TNT.
It's like the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, like who? I gotta look at who the announcers are going to be. Are they going to bring over? Are they going to license out the announcers to do some of the games? Like TNT's not going to what? Charles Barkley and Paul Bissonnette are going to do college football playoff games.
Going to have who's the Brewers guy and the March Madness? They can have all the CBS guys. I think CBS doesn't CBS own TNT or TNT work with CBS.
I don't think so. I think Warner. No, I don't think so.
That Brian Anderson. Brian Anderson does March Madness games, and he also does TBS baseball.
Bill Rafferty is going to call Clemson, Texas.
Awesome.
No, it would not.
They're coming out in.
No, it's ESPN. I have the commentator teams.
They're
thank
ESPN
you, Alex. People.
Let's tell me that.
So
now. Relax.
TNT.
Texas, Clemson on TNT, 4 p.m. Dave Pash, Dusty Dorvacek.
Are you kidding me? Dusty Dorvacek's calling a game.
He's calling that game.
And then what's the next game? In Arizona State, Tennessee, Ohio State. Please be
Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit, and Howie Rowe.
Is that game on TNT too?
That game is on ABC.
Oh.
And then
SMU, Penn State.
Mark Jones, Roddy Jones, and Quint Kesnich
on TNT at noon. That's gonna feel like a JV.
Where is Sean McDonough, and why are they not?
Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy, Molly McGrath
for Indiana.
Friday, December 20th, 8 p.m. Indiana, Notre Dame.
Oh, that's sexy.
That's awesome.
That's sexy.
Wait, so we don't get any
all the rounds. I can give them all.
Yeah, do we get CBS guys ever? No Gus, no Joel. They're done for the year.
It's all ESPN from here on out.
Yeah, because then it's Boise State, Penn State, or SMU is Bob Wischusen and Louis Riddick.
Bob Wischusen's good. I just wish Dan Orlowski was still in the booth.
The Arizona State, Texas, or Clemson game is Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer.
Yes, that's
Rose Bowl.
Rock.
Fowler and Herbstreit. Yes. And then the Sugar Bowl
is Sean McDonough.
Sean McDonough.
He always does the Sugar Bowl.
And then the commentators are not announced for the semifinals.
It's Sean McDonough.
I know one of them.
It's Sean McDonough.
I know one of them.
Fowler and Kirk is the title game.
Well, the semi
and one of the semis.
One of the semis can be Fowler and Kirk, and one of the other semis is Sean McDonough, his partner.
Both semis say commentators TBD. Maybe they're trying to get Gus and Joel in one of those spots.
Or Dorvacek in the semifinal.
No, that guy's terrible. I can't believe he gets one.
Dusty's
all
last
right, relax. Game. Dusty has a family, I think. All right, let's start. Oh, also, you said Herbstreit. Kind of crazy. Well, not crazy, but fun wrinkle in the rivalry that his son is going to be a signing in Michigan. Did you guys see that? I know.
What?
Michigan offered Kirk Herbstreit's son, who's a quarterback, because they're trying to get in good graces with the media.
The media? Oh, that's why we did it?
Yeah.
I don't think we need Kirk Herbstreit's approval. He already likes Michigan, people think.
Well, but people are like, how could Kirk let his son go there? I was like, well, Kirk's son had nowhere else to go.
Yeah, but did you see how much Kirk's flying around the country? You think he's sitting down that often with his son about where he's going to college?
Yeah, probably not.
Wait, his son actually going to Michigan?
Yeah, committed today.
To play football.
2025. He's like barely rated. He has, like Alex said, one offer. He's going to be like a
3-star on one service.
He's getting a scholarship, though.
Yeah, he got a full
scholarship.
He's going to be wearing maize and blue.
To be a permanent backup to Bryce Underwood.
Gross.
To Miller Moss. Anyways.
Miller Moss is going to, I just saw it today, Louisville or Missouri?
Visits, Evan. Visits.
That means we're going.
No, he's got to visit Michigan still. He can't decide till he visits Michigan.
He's not going to Michigan.
Visit Michigan.
You have a $20
I don't think he wants to
have
a chance of being a backup, Grant.
Well, he's got to earn it. See if he's got that dog in him.
You can go play right away at a lot of other schools.
We'll take
Clemson, Texas.
Clemson, Texas.
Texas has beat nobody this year.
Neither is Clemson.
Clemson can't score against good defenses.
SMU is a good football team.
Clemson is a good football team, but Texas's defense is going to shut down Clemson's offense. Texas in a close one.
Spread is 11 points, just to let you know how Vegas sees this game already.
I see Texas
11
by
points.
10. Texas by 10. Clemson technically covers.
I like Texas as well.
Texas, 24-13.
It's also just I got to stop this little Connor Cody thing in the chat. There's too much Clemson love. They're unlikable as unlikable can be at this point in the cycle.
They're not flashy. They're gross.
I don't know why people hate Clemson, though. Why do you hate Clemson?
Dabo's insufferable.
Dabo's not as insufferable as Kurt Zanetti.
No, he's more insufferable. I would take that side.
Yeah, but at least Dabo's won like some national championships. So
yes, Kurt Zanetti has
that's true.
Shit.
Yeah, they can't hold the same. Well, James Madison titles. What do you count those?
Shut the.
You're saying that level of ball doesn't matter?
Correct.
Jesus, guys.
Who won this week in the FCS playoff, Grant?
I watched a highlight of a Division III game that someone won.
I said FCS, not Division III. I don't give a shit.
Did they win or did St. John's win? It was St. John's versus Susquehanna.
Susquehanna won.
Yep, there you go, Evan. Smoke that in your pipe. Stick that in your pipe.
You said division. I said FCS, and you came out with Division III football.
North Dakota State.
I went lower because that's how deeply we care.
Next game.
That'll be Tennessee versus Ohio State.
Where do you got to be?
Well, we're just talking about nonsense.
He's got to go get his Pacheco jersey on after this ends. Tennessee, Ohio State, 8 p.m. night game, 12:21.
Ohio State.
Sean McDonough. No, just kidding.
No, Kirk.
Kirk and Chris.
I think I'm going to get overruled. I'm going to go with Tennessee.
You have some weird for the SEC. You've had one all year.
Oh. Guilty. There's two ways this game could go in my mind. One,
Tennessee
Ryan
wins.
Day.
2, Ohio State wins.
Yeah. That's what you would think I would say.
I would agree. Those are the two ways I see this game going.
No, but if Ohio State wins, I think it's going to get ugly. Like, I think I'll look like a big idiot. I'm going to put currency on Tennessee. I don't know if I'm going to do money line and spread or both. They are Michigan model of the SEC, but they have a good quarterback, actually. So that's the thing about Tennessee. They are tough. They have a nasty defensive line. They love to run the ball. So I think that's a problem for Ohio State. That's what they just lost to and what they have a problem with. But
different type of running, though.
Like scheme-wise, you mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But like tough running back, though. He's better than Mullins.
Isn't
like their running back is one of the best in the country.
Tennessee's the team that when it was 55 degrees, they had heated benches.
They did have heated benches in Georgia, but Ohio State, not a good weather team. If it's a little windy, they can't throw.
It's going to be like 20 degrees probably in 2 weeks.
Good point.
But I think when people think about Tennessee and Heupel, they still think about our backup quarterback, Hendon Hooker. That's not what this team is. This team wants to punch you in the mouth. They have one of the best defensive players in the country, the Pierce guy on the defensive line. Their defense is nasty. They're a 7-point underdog. I love that spread. I think it'll be a touchdown game. But there is a world, though, where Ohio State does learn from their mistakes against Michigan and they start airing it out and they kind of go with the model that they should be doing, and they beat you on the perimeter with their speed, etc. So they could learn from that and win this game by a lot, by like 14, call it. But I don't know. I think Tennessee is too tough to get that bullied in this game. So I will pick Tennessee in the upset.
Buckeyes, 31-21. Jeremiah Smith, 2 touchdowns.
Guys, 31-18.
All right, moving on. SMU,
Easy.
Penn State.
This game's
This
easy.
sucks. I will say this does suck about the Alabama SMU thing. I'm proud of the committee. I'm scared for the committee's future, honestly, that they put SMU in. I don't know about you guys. I was audibly stunned. I made a sound like, oh my God, I can't believe they left Alabama out when I saw the pony on my screen. I couldn't believe it.
I was happy.
More so, yeah, I'm fine with it. It's just more so because I know how the repercussions that might have down the line for the SEC, because the SEC and the Big Ten,
loud.
yeah, your phone does that every show.
Isaiah Pacheco is in the red zone.
You're the SEC and the Big Ten control college football with the amount of money they bring in, so that's going to get scary when they start reshaping the playoff that they left Alabama out for SMU. I don't think that's going to be forgotten.
Because they got called out by Dan Lanning.
Who got called out by Dan Lanning?
SEC and ESPN got called out by Dan Lanning, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, saying that they're state-run media, basically?
Yes.
Yeah. That's fair, and that's been thrown around for years. More so, I'm saying that the Big Ten and SEC, there's a chance they just say, screw all this BS, and like you're basically going to design a playoff that favors us, or we're just going to go do our own thing. Because there's really no reason for the Big Ten and the SEC to like sit here and let SMU make their playoff for all the money they bring in. So that was, I give the committee credit. It could have major ramifications. We might look back in 2 years and be like, wow, the sport looks completely different because they were like, you know what, we're going to put SMU in over Alabama. But here they are.
I don't think the Big Ten and SEC are going to break off and have a 2-conference tournament. I think that would be stupid. They'd have to get TV deals done. The whole thing would blow up. That would be like a 7-year process to get that done.
I don't know.
Yes. The amount of legal work required for that would be tons.
I mean, things have been already moving pretty fast in college football the last like 4 years. It doesn't seem like anyone's doing.
It's not very difficult to go from 4 to 12 in the same type of format on the same networks with the same pool of schools. This would be a completely new thing, completely different. Everything would be different about it. You'd have no contracts in place whatsoever. This is not like something that will happen next year by any means.
No, but I mean, we're going to have a whole new playoff.
No, I don't
in 2
think
years.
it'll happen. No, I don't think it'll happen.
Well, I mean, there will be a new playoff in 2 years.
Yes, there will be a new design of this playoff, but it will be the same concept.
I don't know. I would say it's this bumped whatever percentage it was, maybe to 30%. Maybe it was like 10%.
That's not that high.
I don't know. It's not that hard for the Big Ten and SEC to do whatever they want in college football.
But why?
The only reason
it doesn't benefit them.
Well, yes, it certainly does money wise. That Alabama's left out of that. You lose out on money. You get money for if your team makes the playoff. And
these teams aren't exactly starving for money. That's for sure.
Yeah, it'd more be like a essentially to the committee and everyone that's leaving their schools out, which they think should be in.
I think the people in power would not vote for that. At least not enough to get it to happen.
Well,
every AD has a vote at these schools.
Well, really all it would have to be is, I guess the ADs, but it'd just be the 2 conferences being like talking to the networks and like, we'll do our own thing because there's no governing body of the sport, which is what makes it beautiful, but also crazy.
Yeah, it would just be dumb. I don't think that would happen.
Nevertheless, now we have SMU Penn State. It does kind of suck betting wise because if you put Alabama in this game, I would love to take Milroe and the Tide. But I can't sit here and tell you that I think SMU is going to win this game, so I'll take Penn State.
Why not?
SMU.
I just think Penn State is going to be tougher, and they're going to be able to run the ball down their throat.
SMU has an electric offense and an electric quarterback.
Clemson's run game.
But I guess SMU losing to Clemson and also getting down like they did early, like plummeted their stock in my mind
Penn
because
State
I thought
would blow out Clemson.
No, it'd be like 7-6.
Would they blow them out? No, I don't know. I would never be comfortable picking most teams to blow each other out this year in college football because no one seems that good. But like to win by 10, they could beat Clemson by 10. I think Penn State could just run it down anyone's face.
I don't think Penn State can run it down everyone's face.
It does suck. It's a noon game for them. That sucks for them.
Belief.
They ran for 300 against Oregon.
Definitely hang in this game. for sure.
I think SMU can hang, possibly win this.
I think they could possibly win as well.
What is the
Spread's
spread?
8.5. 8.5.
Oh, SMU's
That's not
covering
that big.
that. I think it'll go down. I think you want to get it on it now. I think it's going to get down to like 6.5.
I probably won't bet this because I don't love Penn State to cover that, but I don't see them.
Hate Penn State.
I don't see them losing.
But
this
also
game at home.
Well, James Franklin, big time game. See how he does. I'm picking SMU.
Yeah, but SMU doesn't feel like a big time opponent.
It's going to say college football playoff all over your stadium.
You guys are doing the SMU?
Yeah.
All right, I have to.
Oh, Grant, you don't have to.
But we will be filling out our own brackets because I got to make sure
Grant,
mine's
you
on
don't
the
have
record.
to.
Because
you can pick.
You guys picked them.
I did pick them because I'm solely picking SMU because I
Two out
hate
of three.
Penn State. That's the solely reason why I'm doing it.
We can't have SMU in our semi because I'm going to pick them again against Boise.
Yeah, you got. Well, that's what you're signing
I
up
would
for.
pick Boise State.
I think Penn State's walking to the semi. Sadly,
Pick them.
Maybe.
I did, but I voted 2 out of 3.
Oh, well, I don't care if you override it. If you want to pick Penn State, go ahead.
We don't. We said no overrides.
I don't
it'd
really
be
care.
too.
Pick it however you want to feel.
No, I'll make my own. I'll have my own bracket that I'll keep track of separately, which I encourage everyone to. Indiana, Notre Dame. I'm very excited for this. This is awesome.
Notre Dame
regional.
by a lot.
I'm going to have to do my own bracket. I think Indiana wins this one. I do think. The one thing I don't like about it is that it's 8 p.m. I think that's going to be tough. I do think Indiana is a lot closer to Notre Dame than Notre Dame is to Georgia in those teams. I don't think Indiana is that different. I think their skill guys are better on the perimeter. I think their wide receivers are a better group.
Dude,
their offense only feasts.
Indiana and SMU are like the same team.
Indiana's offense only feasts on bad defenses.
And we're acting like SMU is terrible,
defenses.
but Indiana's good.
Look at the games that they played at like a competent defense. Look at
Why?
the games they played a competent defense. They barely
their
scored.
players.
Notre Dame's
just
defense is
watched
one of the
more of
best. I'm picking Notre Dame, hands down.
I do think it'll be a rock fight. I don't think Notre Dame's going to run all over Indiana.
Oh, I feel like Notre Dame's
I think Notre Dame's going to blow them out.
I feel like Notre Dame's going to blow them out.
Indiana has the best quarterback in this game, so they have that on their side.
Best throwing quarterback.
Yeah, which I think is going to be big in playoff games. I think it's going to your quarterbacks have to make some big third down throws. I don't think Notre Dame's going to be like never face third downs and be like a second down, first down run the entire time. I do think Indiana is going to give them a run for their money in this game, and I think enough to win the game.
Yeah, I'll take Notre Dame.
The problem is that it's a night game. Yeah. That's what
I'll take Notre
sucks.
Dame.
It's 8-point spread as well. So Notre Dame will move on in this one.
Sexy.
All right. Back up at the top. Texas, Arizona State in the Peach Bowl. I like Texas.
Texas home game.
Texas.
Peach Bowl's in Georgia.
It's closer to Texas than it is Arizona State.
That's going to be a lot, except for the Rose Bowl. It'd be like, Fiesta Bowl too.
Cotton Bowl is a home game, but
Ohio State, Oregon, Rose Bowl, beautiful, 5 p.m. New Year's Day. Michigan won this game last year, actually, beat Bama. I'm going to go with Oregon. I think they're good enough to beat them twice.
I'm going with Oregon.
Ducks.
All right. Oregon moves on there. It's a beautiful semifinal game. SMU, Boise State. I would pick SMU in this game if I had to. I think Boise State's...
You're telling me Penn State's a semifinal football team? That's a lie.
Based on their draw, they got a nice little draw.
I'm picking Boise State. I'm picking Boise State. I think it's going to be a slow down, muck it up type game. You had the Heisman Trophy winner on your team. You got to feed them the rock 35, 40 times.
The only stat that matters in this game is SMU's rush defense. I don't know what that is. I feel like
they shut down Clemson's
they defense. Can get run on. If they shut down your running game, Boise State has nothing.
Little Fiesta Bowl magic for Boise State. You never know.
SMU.
Let's see what opponent rushing yards per game.
A lot.
Oh, look at this stat. Indiana this year gives up the least amount of opponent rushing yards per game.
Because they play nobody. They play teams
Southern
like
Methodist, 98.3.
85.
They're top 8 in the country. All right, I'll go SMU then.
Oh, Stangs.
Where was I? All right, SMU, welcome to the semifinal of the college football playoff.
Yeah, they earned it.
Next, Notre Dame, Georgia. Georgia.
Close game. I think this game will be close.
Georgia.
We're in on Notre Dame.
I'm good. Out on Georgia's offense.
Yeah, who's playing quarterback?
Can I ask a question? I'm not trying to be provocateur. I guess I am.
You don't like
a podcast debate show.
Said it all year.
What about Notre Dame are you so bought in on?
They run the football. They play gritty on
defense. Trenches. That's what matters in these games.
Also just, with a running quarterback, you outnumber the defense every single time you line up. Every single time you line up, you are... That's unfortunate. You out-scheme the defense. Now, granted, isn't it Riley Leonard?
Yeah.
I feel like it just in my head it didn't sound right. Riley Leonard, has he made some big-time throws? No. Has he gotten more efficient over the last couple of weeks? Yes. Has the competition been shitty? Absolutely. But you have to account for the run game by the quarterback, and not many teams see a running quarterback. Now, Georgia's front seven
Riley Leonard considered a running quarterback?
I would consider Riley Leonard
he's not a throwing quarterback. So if he's not a running, then I don't know what he is.
Look at his rush attempts all year.
He's a handoffer.
I wouldn't even say he's a I say
my
he's
serious
a
question, though.
It is quarterback power, quarterback counter, run game. We have to throw when we have to. That's it.
I guess the thing I'm struggling with is, at least from Alex's perspective, is that he made valid points about Texas's schedule. We've made valid points about Clemson's schedule. Notre Dame has played nobody.
Yeah, but
they're the A&M game.
They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're destroying the teams they're playing.
But the teams are so bad.
Except Northern Illinois. They did not smack them around.
Yes, they.
And also USC, without that pick six, that's a one-score game, and USC scored 35 on them. So the whole defensive thing, that was
USC has led in every single game they played this year.
USC was also on their second quarterback, though. They benched Miller Moss, but two pick sixes. They put up 35 points on Notre Dame.
Anything can happen in a rivalry game. Ask Ohio State.
I don't know. I think this Notre Dame. I think it's a little fugazi.
I'm picking Georgia because I'm never betting against Georgia.
I'm not picking Notre Dame to win the game.
But even it being close, I'll take whatever spread this is. Again,
Georgia hasn't looked
QB
good
situation,
all year.
Oh, they look good at Texas.
That's not right. That's not true. Yeah,
they
that's
looked
just
good
not
at
true.
Texas.
They looked
good in the SEC title game with their backup QB. They won that game still. That's very impressive.
They looked good in the first half against Alabama.
They looked horrible in the first half
Second
against
half
Texas
against
on Saturday.
First half.
You want to talk about running the football? I wrote down these notes.
They had 3 points at halftime against Texas, and they looked
Texas has a great defense.
Oh, Texas does have a good
Texas
defense.
does have a good defense.
Texas is my national title pick.
Whoa!
Anyways,
they lost to Ole Miss by 3 touchdowns.
Actually, the Oregon part's tough because Texas, they got to figure out their quarterback. But back to Georgia. Texas running the football versus Georgia in 2 meetings, so not just a one-off fluke. Texas ran 27 times for 29 yards and ran 28 times for 31 yards.
Yeah,
Jeremiah Love,
Georgia's defense is good.
Georgia's stuffy.
I didn't say Notre Dame was going to win.
You said close, though.
Georgia doesn't have any firepower to blow a team out. They just haven't done it all
tight
year.
Ends.
I think that final score will be 20 to 18, 20 to 16.
Name a game that Georgia's just absolutely blown out a good team. They just don't do that this year. That's not who they are.
Well, they blew out Texas at Texas.
Well, that was because turnovers in the red zone. They said on the broadcast, Georgia hasn't really drove down the field and scored on top end competition.
That game will be 24-7.
Oh, more than that.
Just a suffocation.
They gave up 42 points to Georgia Tech.
Asterisk, Alex. There was 8 overtime.
Anything can happen now.
21 points to UMass. 17 points to Tennessee. 20 to Georgia. The team that's done the worst against Georgia this year is Texas both times. Maybe because Texas isn't that good.
Aw.
Well, they almost
beat them. You ever think about that? Because Texas didn't beat anyone.
But what about Notre Dame?
Alex, Texas beat Michigan, who beat Ohio State. So, who are you to talk?
Right.
Well, here we go.
That's your argument.
We got 3 teams that if you said they'd be here to start the year, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. And we got SMU in our Final Four just sitting there.
I think Texas is good, except for when Quinn Ewers throws interceptions. Arch Manning should play more.
He should start. He should play the whole playoffs.
Quinn Ewers and his lob passes off his back foot, and he just kind of flicks it out there. I'm sick of that shit.
Yeah,
chuck the football, throw it.
I don't know if it's a Georgia problem, but rewatching the highlights, he is all like, even if the pocket's clean, he's back footing it. And I don't know if that's that ankle. Molly McGrath, I think, had that brace thing that he was wearing. That looked really scary. They do basically have a bye week here, right?
That was Laura Rutledge.
Thank you. Laura Rutledge
Laura.
doing the boot that showed what he was wearing. That looked impossible to move around in. So maybe
they said
that
it makes it
better.
so you can move around super easily.
They did say that. I didn't believe them. I thought there was no way. You wear something that
modern
bulky.
Medicine? No, don't believe it.
That bulky on your foot, that has to feel weird. But he does get a bye week, so that'll help, I would say.
Greatly
to get ready.
It's a little bit more than a bye week. They don't have to play until when?
They gotta play first round, but they get 1 week off. The Army-Navy game, they get off, and then they play.
No.
They play Clemson.
Georgia plays Clemson? Texas. I'm thinking of Georgia.
Texas.
Stupid.
Texas. Kyle and Evan, this is your team.
Texas.
So,
Quinn Ewers has to play. Quinn Ewers does not play for Georgia.
I think they're better off if he's like 75% going with Arch and just seeing what the kid's got, because he's also a running quarterback. Arch is, like you said, Evan. To everything you said about the running quarterback, that helps. I think that would help them run the ball more, especially against a team like Oregon.
Arch Manning has more arm talent than 95% of the running quarterbacks in the NFL, and not in the NFL, in the NCAA. They're just use him as their running quarterback just because he's bigger than Quinn Ewers.
So this one's tough for me, because if you told me Arch, like they had their quarterback situation figured out, I would like to go with Texas in this game, but I hadn't seen that, and Dylan Gabriel looks like the best quarterback in college football, so I'm going to go with Oregon in this game.
He's the best quarterback since last year. Just nobody
That's
knew
not
it.
true. He was not this good last year.
He was on Oklahoma. That's why.
I know. He was not. He wasn't this good last year, though.
I also think you put any quarterback in Oregon system and you'd make it good.
Oregon.
Any quarterback?
Just about.
Noah Kim?
Would be good in Oregon.
Heard it here first. Ooh, the color change. Look at that.
I'm going with Oregon.
I'll go Oregon. Oh, sweet. SMU, Georgia.
Oregon by 14-15 in the national championship game.
Thoughts on the semifinal, Alex?
No, that'd be a bloodbath. That'd be like SMU like got to the bright lights and shit on their leg. Like, holy crap, we're here.
In Miami. Oregon, Georgia. Wow, what a matchup. I'll go Big Ten. I'll go Oregon.
I'll go Oregon because I trust their offense more.
Hez Johnson is like he's the best skill player, I think, in college football.
But do you bet against Georgia in the national championship game?
Yes, I am.
Is Tua playing? Oregon. Well, another lefty quarterback they lose to in the national championship game? Whoa. It's national championship. Right. Isn't the national championship in Atlanta too?
Yeah, no. I think it might be in Mercedes-Benz.
I think it is. I think it's in Houston next year.
It was in Houston last year.
Shut up. It's in Houston again next year.
They're doing it again.
Oh, yeah, I think so, because every single bowl is taken up. Look it up, buddy. I'm pretty sure I saw that this week.
Why would it give me FCS? That's crazy. Oh, that would be 2025. Damn it, Grant. It's technically 2025.
Stupid.
Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia. That's going to be a home. Well, yeah, that'll be dog. Oof. That feels bad picking against Georgia.
6 is Hard Rock. 27 is Allegiant. I don't know what.
Carson Beck's just not a title-winning quarterback. I'm sorry, he's not. And for that reason, I'm not doing it.
Maybe he won't be the quarterback anymore.
I feel good about doing.
Atlanta, Miami.
They got huge red flags.
Las Vegas. It's the only next 3 announced.
But the backup will be back because he just had a concussion, allegedly. What we saw with our eyes, so he'll be back for whatever game they need to play him in.
Jerry doesn't get into this sweepstakes and try to host.
All right. That's our CFP bracket. I encourage everyone to fill out their own so we can keep track. Well, I guess we'll be making picks on Run Your Pool as well, but I'm going to have to avenge some of the games that I thought didn't go my way there. See what happens. Probably will change my mind 15 times until the first game's played.
Kids can enter the portal still and leave. Crazy.
True. Alabama's got players transferring out left and right, I saw.
Probably they're all offensive line because they have a shit-ass offensive line coach.
Michigan State's old one.
Yeah.
Any NFL chatter? Just Lions in general? Well, again,
Lions game felt like a month ago.
The Vikings and the Eagles keep winning football games, sadly. That we hope they lose every single week, but they won't stop losing. So we're still just a game ahead. I do think we have tiebreaker, obviously, over the Vikings for now. I don't know how the
Eagles stuff works. We just have to go 3-1 the rest of the way, and we're the 1 seed.
Yeah, we control our own destiny, which is good.
I guess if we want to lose, I think we should lose to the Bills, right? Because it's AFC and the tiebreaker's NFC opponent, right?
Yes.
All I know is no matter what, if you go 3-1 down the stretch of the 1 seed.
Did they lost to the Rams? They ended up losing?
Who?
Yeah. Bills.
The Bills. Yeah, they did lose to the Rams.
Yes, they did. Puka Nacua, game ceiling.
Again, just semantics, sports fan. I thought if they did win that game, it'd be better for us because it'd be like a little bit of a adrenaline come down high. But they lost, so they'll be fired up. And
we had a mini bye.
True. I'm starting to look ahead to that massive game. We live in the present. We beat the Packers again. We swept the regular season matchup of the Packers, which is great.
Bad refs took that game for the Packers.
I saw a lot about that online. I saw a lot of reminded me of when the Lions fans like us used to send threads to each other about
the refs
egregious calls
that game from Green Bay.
Also, the Lions are a dirty team. We're scum.
Yeah.
Apparently. Kirby Joseph is the most dangerous player in the entire NFL, allegedly. The guy that's like 160 pounds soaking wet is a problem.
All pro safety, that's why nobody likes him.
Shout out JJ Watt for standing up for him on Twitter. I love that from JJ Watt.
So
you guys don't know ball.
Yeah.
He's going right to the thigh pad. I mean, I don't know. Credit to Tucker Kraft for being athletic to get out of the way. I had a kind of dark theory about hitting high versus hitting low. I think it's starting to gain traction that going for the knees and stuff is dirty because an ACL injury will put you out for a year, whereas if you get a concussion, you probably just miss 1 week. So like getting concussed is longer term maybe more detrimental to your health as a human being. But like when you hit someone high, it's like, oh, he's a hard hitter. Like he's coming down, he's flying in 100 miles an hour. So they're like, oh yeah, that's whatever. But if you knock a guy's ACL, you hit his knee and he tears his ACL, they're out for like a year, a couple months. Fans like hold on to that injury a lot more, and you remember who tore that ACL. I feel like that has some merit to it.
Okay.
And you think anything there? No?
Sure. It's a weird
I think there's some merit to it.
Because there's a lot dirtier players in the NFL that headhunt. I mean, honestly, I would say Brian Branch is more likely to like do a lay the boom type hit a little late compared to like Kirby Joseph, but Kirby Joseph is viewed as like the scummiest player in the league right now by opposing fan bases, which is crazy.
It's really just the Bears and the Bears, but yeah.
And Vikings.
Yeah,
and the Rams.
So our division.
Because Hawkinson,
well, because Stafford
he has a track
record into it.
Yes, which Stafford should have. I don't blame anyone in that interaction. You got to stand up for your guys. It was interesting. The funniest thing to me, I guess maybe we should talk about it a little bit, how we feel. Again, I asked our friend Connor, Packer fan, any radio stations to listen to. Couldn't help me out with it because he says he doesn't take in any content after games, which to each their own. I'm a sicko, and I think you're more of a man if you just go on and look at everything to make yourself feel worse in the moment and start the process of grieving faster. But I credit him for staying off of everything as best he can so he doesn't feel worse about it. But I do find 105.7 The Fan Milwaukee. Listen
You're
to that.
You're a sicko to try to find these radio stations. You did this with Ohio State too. Why do you do that?
I like to get their
others' pain.
Yeah, I like to get their perspective for my real rivals that I really despise. I'm glad I did because it made me more, I don't know about angry, but laughed at these people. Get on the radio. Listen to this guy. If it wasn't 12:30, I might have called it and told him how stupid he was. He's on there blabbering about the Packers. He's like, this Dan Campbell guy, he's really going to cost this team in a big game. You can't keep going for 4th downs. And he goes, the funniest part of the goal, he goes, Matt LaFleur would never do something like that. It's like, oh, you're talking about the coach that decided to kick a field goal against Tom Brady in an NFC championship game on the other side, and you lost. Like, he's just saying how calm and collected, and LaFleur makes all the right decisions. It's like, what alternate world do these guys live in? Where, yes, Dan Campbell is a psychopath. He does do things that could be questionable and cost us, but to look at your own coach and be like, yeah, he never does that. Like, all coaches are perfect. It's just, this is what it is. Do I think... And it bared out on the stats than community nerds. I guess if we kick the field goal, it's like a 3% better chance to win that game. In that case, I thought it was a little weird, but I get it because you're trying to end the game with your best unit that night, with your offense. You didn't want your defense to have to go back out there. I know there was only 40 seconds or so with no timeouts, but if you told me Jordan Love goes down and scores against us, I wouldn't be that surprised in that game, the way our defense was kind of treading water at the end there. So I had no problem with it. Yeah, it might cost us or hurt us at some point in a playoff game, but that's just because we didn't get it. Like, we just got beat. I don't think they're like egregious. The one on the 30 going for it, I didn't love the play call. the play I was fine with, like the decision. But yeah, I guess that's my thoughts. I don't know how you guys felt because that's the national narrative is that our coach is going to kill us in a playoff game.
They even said, Jared Goff said after the game that Dan said on like Wednesday that they were going to do that. They were going to go for it like every time, basically, is what he said. So it's not like it was just in the moment Dan was deciding to do these things. He already had a full plan that the offense was going to win or lose this football game. And us Lions fans know that Dan does this every week. You kind of just live or die by the sword. And I think we're all comfortable dying by it if we do. Because most of the time it works. That's how we've gotten to this point.
I also think we need to look at it the same way Dan's looking at it. We're going to, like you said, about like finishing the game with the offense on the field. You also want your offense on the field longer. I mean, look at our defense. 99% of the players that are on IR are on our defense. So if your offense is out there longer, the chances of Green Bay scoring is dramatically less. So I don't blame them. And hypothetically, it's 4th and 1. The Detroit Lions should be able to get a yard. And I think Green Bay just outcoached us on that one play because they schemed it up where they knew we were going to do a QB sneak or HB dive or whatever. Alert, audible, toss, miss a block, or one guy just out leverages us, and that's what it is. And I also don't think our offensive line had the best performance. I think Ragnow probably had his worst game of his recent career. I mean, Kenny Clark ate his lunch a couple times.
There was one that was bad.
I kept seeing replays, and he would turn it around like, oh no.
Just not as fast, a couple get-offs. But we were also getting out the ball quick on the defensive side. But I'm all for, like, our offense is second to none. Best of our lifetime. We'll go down, hands down, best of our lifetime. What's wrong with wanting them to be on the field longer?
I had no problem with it.
I would rather have us go for it on 4th and 1 with our offense out there than run some another fake punt action again.
Yeah.
Also, as great as Bates has been, I didn't feel that great that he was just automatically going to make a field goal, too. I did not feel that good about it. So I was like, if we can just get 1 yard.
Missed one during Thanksgiving on the right hash. So you had to get the ball back over to left hash because of his natural.
He's a left hash guy.
Natural fade.
Like the probability of Jake Bates making that field goal or us getting a 1 yard running gain. Like,
it's also a bad look the same. When Goff is on his knee trying to hand the ball off.
Didn't help that he fell. Did not help that he fell.
I forgot that happened to you guys. Just said that right now. I mean, I obviously knew, but so much has happened.
There was actually Packer fans out there saying that if the quarterback is on his knee, that the play needs to be blown, whistled dead because the quarterback is giving himself up.
Yeah, there's some broken brains. We're breaking brains. The Lions being this good at breaking people's brains. I love it because I sent that quote. And I've been sitting on that quote for a while. I almost sent it earlier in the year when we beat them in Lambeau, but I thought that's a little too premature. But the fact that their GM last year was asked about the Lions winning, and he just was like, we don't care about the NFC North. We have bigger sights and goals. Like, fine, we'll just win the North every year because it means a lot. It does. I like to win the North.
Winning the North means we're guaranteed one playoff game. It means we're in the playoffs.
Hosting it. Yeah.
Yes.
At home. Like, to him say that, like, that just speaks to the arrogance. And we are. And I understand we are kind of, we should embrace it. We're starting to turn, like, people love us, right? Like, there's a lot like Peter Schrager's and, who's the other guy? Kyle Brandt love us. They can't get enough lines, which is fine. But there's also people, obviously, there's a division that are starting to turn because we're running our mouths. And also, like, we have to admit, there's a little bit of scumbaggery in our fan base. Not full Eagles, but like the fact
guy
that
on the fan that was chirping Matt LaFleur's crazy behavior.
I mean, that's Detroit though. Like we boo. Kelly Stafford says it's our kids. We boo Stafford. Like we're kind of scumbag. We're ride or die with our people, and that's just who we are.
Just hardworking middle class people.
We're hostile. We're a hostile fan base. I think we're not as nice as some others, which is fine. But we know ball. We're also not stupid. I feel like we don't go around accusing other people of being dirty. And also, we don't misunderstand the rule book as bad as the people saying that Goff was taking a knee. But yeah, that was an awesome win. Pretty much solidifies that it's going to be a race between us and Minnesota here for the end. I'm trying to think of any other like big takeaways. Game wise, I thought it was awesome to see from Goff bounce back after the pick. I think he didn't miss a beat after that. And again, we fully trust him, but anytime your quarterback throws a pick that was kind of just a mental mistake more than anything, it wasn't a bad throw. It was just like a mental mistake of being like, I went to that route earlier in the game, thought it would work again, did not work, but he delivered perfectly after that. So that was awesome to see.
Yeah, he's a good player.
I'm not sure how long. I know we'll have to see the injury reports when we talk about the Bills game. I don't understand how this defense can get by another week. That was just, I'm not trying to be mean to any of the players. That was incredible that they did
Broderick
that well,
Martin
but
might not be playing NFL in a couple of years. He was getting washed.
And the goal line one was tough where his back was turned.
He barely even played, too.
He's got one tackle I see in the box score.
Dude, he's bad.
I would assume Reader's back next week. If he was iffy this week, just a technically Thursday game, but it was a week off.
Mini bye.
I would assume Ali McNeil is back. I mean,
not a concussion. Apparently.
Not a concussion. He was out and came back in, and then they pulled him for the second half. I would assume those two are back. And then, hell, if you have your scrub 5 guys that you pulled off the street, be like, all right, I need 2 guys best. Well, Zadarius Smith was actually played really well. So one guy, couple guys, rotations, and you give me full out balls to the wall for 5 or 6 plays, because then we're going to have a sub coming in for you. And it worked most of the time for the Packers.
The new guys, Jamal Adams, Quan Alexander, they'll probably have a better understanding of some of our concepts. I feel like they were only into blitz when they would go in.
Jamal Adams, 100%.
Yeah, it was awesome. But like they obviously didn't know like half the things that our defense does, so they're just thrown in for blitzes. That would probably help once they have.
Shout out Pat O'Connor. I'll always remember Pat O'Connor for that Michigan game. It legitimately looked like, I know, again, I'm not trying to be mean, but like just the names and the looks of the players, it looks like Dan just stood on the street corner, or Brad Holmes stood on the street corner in Detroit this week. He was like, hey, you look like the right build. You want to come play D-line for us this game?
We absolutely need to get healthy by the playoffs, because we will not win. No, again, no offense to these guys, but we won't win the Super Bowl or get to the Super Bowl with these two playing.
Yeah, we wouldn't. I don't think we'd win the NFC.
Yeah, we need to get guys back.
I'm trying to think if there's. I mean, this is turning into a full-fledged like chippiest of the North rivalries. I think that's also something that Packers fans are doing with. Like, there's actually a team that can contend with them, where like they've pushed around the Bears forever. The Vikings did win the North like 2 years ago, but besides that, they largely haven't been that much of a threat to the Packers at times. So I think they're realizing that we're here to stay. Obviously, Kirby Joseph, Tucker Kraft hate each other's guts. There's a lot of Quay Walker gets another 15-yarder. A great flop by Dan Skipper on that one. I saw this theory too. I couldn't disagree with this more. I think it's the exact opposite. Not to tie everything to Michigan, Ohio State as well, but I saw Packers fans, and even like how we talk about Michigan's beat writers where like they're fans, but they work for like a fan site. I saw people of that for Packers saying that the Lions are like a fake tough team. Like they like to run their mouths a lot, but they flop when there's altercations and they're not that tough. I think it's the opposite. I think Green Bay is about as fake tough as it can get. I think they're the Ohio State of the NFC North.
Why do you always have to bring them up?
Well, because it's the game. But I think the Lions are like Michigan. Like they're actually tough and have a culture. And I think Ohio State, like Jordan Love is like
I think the Lions are like the Lions, and they're tough, and the culture that Dan Campbell built. And I think that culture is much better than Michigan's. So please don't compare them to a 7-5 football team, Grant.
Oh, no, Jim Harbaugh's national championship winning culture is what I'm talking about.
Oh, so the Chargers. Got it.
I don't know what you're doing. You know what I meant, though. You know the point I'm making.
Yeah, I think we're tough. I don't think we're fake. And we also back it up. We're 12-1, and they can shove it.
Yeah. Like, I think Green Bay is like the dance pregame Ohio State team, and we're the actual.
Do you think the Lions are just a smidge better than the Packers?
I mean, obviously a couple plays here and there.
But remember who was out there on defense.
I don't care, Alex. It's NFL. Everybody's got injuries.
I'm just saying.
I'm not going to look too close in. You're talking about Connor's text. I'm not looking too close into that.
They don't have Jair Alexander.
He never plays. He never plays.
He is very important for their team.
I get that, but everybody has injuries.
Well,
it's part of the NFL. Everybody has injuries.
I'm just saying, You saw what happened the first time we played him when we were much more healthy and we didn't have Brian Branch in that game and we dominated that whole game.
Well, we did have him. Then he got thrown out.
Yeah, for a quarter.
Well, Jordan Love also just handed us 7 points in our lap.
True.
Well, because he's bad.
Well, I don't think he's bad. He made a hell of a throw where
He did have one throw that
stepped
was
up
real
and got
nice.
yeah, we know to the left side. Like it was beautiful. What smidge, whatever. I don't care about those.
Doesn't
semantics.
matter. 2-0.
I'm just telling you, if they play us a third time in the playoffs, I'm going to be pretty nervous about it because that is a tough thing to deal with.
I gave you the beat a team 3 times theory a long time ago. I said that too.
I pounded the drum on that.
You've said it all year, but I said that to you like 3 years ago.
You didn't invent that, Alex. That
I didn't
has
invent
been around
it,
for
but
like.
I said it to you, and you were like, "Oh, you're right. That is."
You're going to take credit for that?
I'm telling you, we had this conversation,
That's a crazy.
and then I've listened to you say it every week since, as if it was your own, and I'm just like, "That's crazy," because I told you
that phrase has been around before we were born.
Yeah, agreed. But you didn't know about it till I talked about it to you.
Oh, gosh.
That's absurd. That's
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Evan.
Agreed.
That's crazy.
It is crazy that Grant would try to take it from me. You know,
Oh my
No,
God.
Grant definitely heard that.
why is
90
Taylor
years
Heineke
before.
warming up?
Because Justin Herbert just went down as injured.
Yes, he just broke his ribs.
Yes.
Well, he's holding his kneecap.
No, he's not.
No, he got a rib shot.
Well, watch. They show the angle of him holding.
It's
his
hard to
knee.
beat a team 3 times. Did you know my friend Alex told me that? He
Yeah,
invented that
he
phrase and
invented
told me
that
that a couple
phrase.
years
No, I didn't
Posted
say I invented
everywhere.
it. I just said I told Grant, and he was like, "Oh, really?"
Grant.
You think I went my whole life a couple of years ago never hearing that phrase?
Yeah, that's
Until
why I was
you
so
showed me.
surprised. That's why it's ingrained in my memory that you didn't know that.
No.
Yeah, trust me, it was a weird. It was a very eye-opening conversation
That
for
might
me
be
too.
the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I
Trust me,
agree.
Evan. If you were there for that conversation, be like,
No,
"Wow, Grant's an
Grant
idiot."
definitely heard that when he was 4 years old.
No, Larry never told him.
I
Oh my God. The things Alex will take credit for.
if
They
you
know
really
no
need
bounds.
to take
That
credit
was
for
it.
that in your life, you need to check yourself.
I didn't say that I was
Wake
the one
up
who
and start
invented
to do
it.
something different.
I didn't say I was the one who
No, but you're
invented
taking
it.
credit
take
for
credit,
teaching me
like-
that.
Yeah, well,
Without
that's
me,
just what
Grant
happened.
would have never, ever heard of that.
Yeah. Well, he probably would have at some point.
194 shows, and that might be the craziest thing.
It is
I mean, I'm
100% the craziest thing you've ever said.
I'm
You
clearly
have to take-
joking around about it, but yes.
No, I can't
No,
tell with you.
You're not joking
That's
around.
the hard
You
part.
100% agree with it.
I think if anybody listened to it, they could tell that I was being sarcastic. But yes,
You're gonna put
I
your
did
head on your
teach it
pillow
to you.
tonight, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, I cannot believe Grant didn't know
You'd be
about
like,
that. Never beat a team."
Without me, Grant would have 0 sports takes.
Well, no, that's not what I said. Yeah, it's crazy. You should have been there for it.
I didn't want to be there for it.
Bills, welcome in the Bills. This Sunday, 4:25, CBS's game of the week.
Tony, Jim.
Let me look at the spread of that game. I wasn't out earlier. I'll be in attendance. This is the game I'm going to in the regular season.
Oh, shit.
Very exciting.
I forgot about that.
The Bills are Larry's AFC team. So
Dicker the kicker.
2.5 is the spread.
Oh,
Lions by 2.5, 53.5. Start everybody in fantasy football in this game. Holy shit, that's a high over under.
Chuck it around. Doesn't matter because playoffs are over with. Who gives a shit?
So that's implied total. We win by a field goal.
I like
What
it.
do you guys think on this one?
I like it.
I don't feel good about this at all. I'm doing it
Another
again.
puddle week. 3 in a row, dude.
Yeah, this feels like when we don't win.
So predict it then.
I'm going Lions 31, Bills 30.
Can I say one thing before I give my score?
Sure.
Josh Allen's a running quarterback, and we struggle with those guys.
No, we know that. No one needs to say that. That's implied in this game. I'm saying it's kind of disingenuous to predict this game before we see the injury report.
Ooh.
But let's say we get half of the guys that were out last week back. Let's say you give me 2 of the 4 defensive linemen that were out. That bump seems up
Reader
considerably.
and McNeil. It's the only 2 I need.
If those guys are still out, I think the Bills score 38 points with ease. And I think we probably score 27 or 30 points. I'll go 38 to 30. Bills.
So you're just predicting that those guys are going to be out based on that logic.
I don't know. Even if we get 2 of the 4 back, it could still be 38.
31-28 Lions. Jake Bates, game winner. Why pick against a team that's 12-1 and has won 11 games in a row? This is like the Michigan thing last year. Like, why would you ever pick against them?
I think the Bills are really good.
It's the NFL.
They just lost to the Rams. They got 44 points to the Rams.
Fully healthy Rams. Well,
because they were looking ahead to us.
Alex, one of them was a blocked kick, blocked field goal, blocked punt.
37 points to the Rams offense.
Yeah, but do you think the Bills are capable of losing back-to-back weeks with how good they are?
Yes.
I believe in those weird things. I feel like
Texans
they lost
beat the Bills.
In what week?
Like 2, 3, 4.
It is at home. It is at home. Home field advantage.
It is at home. It'll be loud, no doubt. There'll probably be a decent amount of Buffalo fans in. It's not that far of a commute, I don't think.
8 hours, 10 hours.
Just Josh Allen presents a problem that
to Buffalo.
I said 8 to 10.
It's not even 8 hours. It's 2 hours to Cleveland. Cleveland's halfway. I say it's no more than 4 or 5.
Buffalo's only 4 hours away.
I would say so.
I'm not sure. I will not comment.
5 hours and 19 minutes.
So in the middle.
Depending on weather,
Cleveland's
that could be
halfway.
easy or treacherous.
From Tecumseh, though.
What did Evan say? Do you go Lions victory?
That's another hour.
Actually, it'd probably be faster from Detroit because you just get right on 75. You don't have to go through the back way to get to 23 to 75. Alex, it's the whole, like, from Lansing to Indianapolis is just the same amount of time from Tecumseh to Indianapolis. Because you get on...
That's an easy drive.
You get on 69, go north. Get on 69, go south. Get on 75, go south. Ford Field
Evan,
to Highmark
Did you take Lions to win?
I did. Lions 31, Bills 30.
I'm the new Evan then. I played against him twice in a row. Puddling.
If you go through Canada, 3 hours and 56
logistics
minutes.
hour.
So you told you 4 hours.
For our Bills Mafia audience, that's how you get to the game.
You travel through Canada, pick up some maple
If you're
syrup,
looking to go.
pick up some
4 hours
Molson.
if you go through Canada.
Some Molson. Don't come without Molson. We already have Labatt. We don't need Labatt. Michigan State hoops. That could be a Super Bowl preview. Sorry. Last thought about Lions, Bills. Anyways, Michigan State hoops. 2-0. Basketball once again
I'm
runs
only
through the state of
clapping
Michigan.
for my team. I'm not clapping for Michigan's team.
Evan, you can get behind that the state of Michigan needs to run basketball in the Big Ten like we used to a couple of years
I want
ago.
to hear what
Now
Grant
we don't.
said about Michigan State pre-Maui because it wasn't very nice. It wasn't.
I did say that I didn't think you would win 2 games. I did say that. I was wrong.
You said it was a higher chance we got 1-0 than 1-0.
But it's also, Grant didn't know that UConn would lose all 3
I agree with
games.
that. True. I was assuming UConn was good and would beat Colorado.
Well, UConn now has 2 ranked wins this week.
No.
Yeah, they do.
Beat Memphis. I'm sorry.
UConn
They
back.
beat Baylor and beat Texas.
Duke back. Memphis.
It's just this is classic college basketball. You just don't
classic
know.
college basketball.
I did know though the easiest bet of the week was Creighton to beat Kansas. I mean, it's probably dollar beer night
Kansas
in Omaha.
lost again today.
Yeah.
Well, that's Dickinson. You know, he's not built to last.
Oh, now you hate him.
He's a Sweet 16 merchant.
Home court advantage in college basketball can swing a game entirely. That's how important it is.
Yep.
So Creighton.
That's why Michigan's win at Wisconsin was so impressive to me.
Well, is Wisconsin good?
Don't know, but don't really care because they were ranked at the time and they have a good player.
Now,
I know that.
Grant,
they have Tanji.
Wisconsin will be a tournament team. You could say that.
They'll be a tournament team, yes.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, they were ranked. I know it'll change. They're ranked 11th
Okay, Alex,
on the
if you had
Big Ten
put money on it
stands
right now, who's more of a tournament team, Wisconsin or Nebraska?
Similar teams. Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's
I think
probably like a 6 to 8 range seed.
And probably same with Iowa and Minnesota. But the caveat with all is Michigan State dusted those teams. So, like,
yeah, I mean, we just
spanked them.
Like we're
so
talking
equally
like
impressive
top 10 margin
leaps in their
victory.
own way, really. Where like Michigan squeaked out some wins against kind of your bubble Big Ten teams that we would expect, and Michigan State just dominated.
Dominated the
2
bottom
teams.
of the Big Ten, which we hadn't been doing the last couple of years.
Correct.
And we shot
Yeah.
the ball very well. for
Nebraska's
2
going to be in
games.
the middle of the Big Ten. They will be a
Nebraska
bubble team.
will be in the bottom of the Big Ten.
I think Nebraska's a bubble.
How many
Category
Who in the Big
basketball
Ten is going to be
team.
better than? No, there's too many good teams or bubble teams.
There's not any good teams. That's the problem.
Okay, I was trying to like change my statement, and then you just
There's 18
darted
teams in the Big Ten.
Yes, you
I'm
darted
saying
in.
They're bottom. They're bottom
I'm saying
6.
Nebraska can
Nebraska's
win games at home.
100% bottom 6.
Bottom 6.
I would put
They're
money on
bottom
it.
6.
Beat Creighton
I don't give
So?
a shit.
on
It's a
the
rivalry
road.
game. Throw it out. It's a rivalry
Don't
game.
give a shit. They're a bottom
They're
6
not.
team in the Big Ten.
I just think that
Alex, you don't have to.
they had
hype
a
up
very
our win.
bad game and we played well.
W-
So that doesn't mean they're going to lose every Big Ten game by 40 points. Like that's
The
not
eye test,
happening.
though.
I'm not
Evan
saying
and I can't
that.
get over the eye
I'm
test.
just saying Nebraska is a bottom 6 Big Ten,
Big Ten
team.
team.
I bet they finish between 9 to 11 then.
I have a
At the
question.
top?
I have no idea, but do
In the-
all
in the
18
Big Ten.
teams make the Big Ten tournament?
I
No.
don't know. I have no idea.
No, because there was jokes last year on Michigan Twitter that if it was the new Big Ten, they wouldn't even qualify for the tournament.
How many teams make the Big Ten tournament?
Not entirely sure. I just know that my team last year would not have qualified.
I need to know this because I would say Nebraska not making the
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's good shit. While you do that, I do have a good stat to summarize the Michigan side of things. We already hit last year's win total for the year,
No
so that's
sh-
huge
no
improvement.
way.
Under correct.
That was
How many
that
wins do you
bad.
guys have?
Holy
8.
shit. I
You
don't
guys had
remember
8
being
wins
that
last
bad.
year?
8-24.
Holy.
15 teams play in the tournament.
So the
Nebraska
bottom 3 teams.
Nebraska will be in the Big Ten
I don't know
tournament.
who are the bottom
That's a
3 teams in
guarantee.
the Big Ten are.
How many? 13?
15.
Oh,
So if there's only 3 teams that don't make it, that's a tough bet. The odds are against us.
Minnesota's not making it.
Nebraska.
No.
Yes.
Washington, they're bad.
They have a all Big Ten player.
That
Can I
doesn't
tell
mean
you
you're
another-
good, Evan.
can I tell you another crazy Michigan last year stat too? Now that I'm looking at how crazy this was,
Washington.
they lost their last 9 games of last year, but the grosser stat is after they beat Eastern Michigan on Saturday, December 16th. So like this time last year,
Great day.
Yeah.
Michigan basketball, they went 2-19 the rest of the year.
Holy.
They beat Ohio State and Wisconsin at home. And that was it.
Can't say I've ever had it that bad.
There's a chance.
No.
Yeah, there's a chance that they're a bottom 3 team. I don't think Rutgers
No,
can stay in the
Evan.
bottom 3.
No, I don't either. Rutgers won't be.
Yeah,
bottom
so if
three.
Either way.
Rutgers jumps Nebraska, that means it's Nebraska, Minnesota, Washington. Bottom 3 don't make it.
Why do you think
What do you-
Nebraska's? Well, I mean, I know why you think Nebraska's bad after what you watched.
I just
but
watched a product that they said, this is our college basketball team for the day. Here you go. Good luck. Go get them. And Drew Morgan was scoring points for Nebraska. That's the only was scoring.
buckets. The kid was nice.
What did you guys like to see over
Grant,
your
his
2
name
games?
was
What
actually
stood out to
Drew
you?
Morgan, so you don't have to cut that.
Oh, okay.
His name was literally Andrew
Oh,
Morgan.
huge game on Friday for the Huskers. Huge.
All right,
Hosting
enough
in-
about Nebraska. No offense. I can't listen to anyone
Field
Nebraska basketball.
goal.
What did you guys? No, it's an extra point.
Damn it.
What did you guys like about your team the last 2 games that you think is a meaningful takeaway?
Unselfish
Defend.
basketball and the way that we move the ball around the court. And now I know it's the same action over and over and over and over again. But nobody on this team is like, hey, give me the rock and I'm going to go ISO. I'm going to dribble up and dribble around and try to just throw up some prayer. It is ball movement. I don't care who scores.
That's
Yeah, I
nice.
agree.
This
like
is a
that.
Jonathan Smith basketball team. Low ego, high output.
Oh,
And that's what he
okay. I
said.
didn't know where you're going with that.
That's what he said at his
But-
press conference, and I think it's shocking because we've always dreamed of having like the superstar on our team. You know, we've had some 5-stars recently. Now this is a team that beginning of the year everybody was like, "Well, who's going to score for us?" I'm hand up, I'm included. I said, I have no idea where the production is going to come from, but if everybody scores 8 to 10 points, we don't need anybody to score 25 to 30.
I like that
Can I-
we've rebounded really, really, really well, like dominating on the glass. And because teams are so afraid of how we fast break, they don't send anybody in for offensive rebounds. So it's always one shot, our ball, run up the floor.
And I think
That's smart.
this year more than other years, we can run even more because we actually can play more players.
Everybody plays like 20-ish.
I know it's college athletics, and everybody's like, "Well, he should get tired. He's a top college athlete." Well, there is fatigue, and about subbing in a player that you can trust to do the same role as a player that's on the court, night and day different.
We're third in tempo in the whole country.
Wow. Can I do the classic question about when you have like a lot of guys that share the ball? Who's going to take the last shot?
I think it's whoever's...
Tom Izzo said it yesterday.
Whoever's got the hot hand that day, I think will take the last shot. I know for a fact it won't be Cone Carr. He will not be shooting the ball at the last shot.
Well, I think
it won't be any of our post players either.
In any of... Well, that's not true. Izzo Kohler.
The last shot is usually never a post touch, Alex. The last shot of a game.
Well, we're not going to just like pass it in. I don't think we'll ever just pass it in and let someone go ISO on the last possession.
No, who's the play design for, Alex?
Akins. Izzo said Akins is the go-to guy on this team.
Akins.
Yeah, that's the answer.
I can see him having like... I was getting there. I can see him getting fear, getting run off a ball screen, having a shooter in the weak side corner. See what happens.
Chase is wearing those shoes that make him think that he's the go-to guy.
High ball screen.
16 points in 15 minutes Saturday.
He can come off. I wouldn't give him the ball right away. I would be more kick and then see how he can create off of that ball movement.
I mean, we're not isolating anyone.
So we're at the nice little like break in the schedule where
exam
3
week.
Non-conference games,
exam
week,
off.
And then we pick up January, start of the new year. So where are we at Big Ten race wise? Are we full in like it's win this league or bust after the first two games?
I wouldn't say.
And what you've seen from the rest of the conference?
I wouldn't say win this league or bust, but I would say
I know I was to say
yes. Win, but they should win the Big Ten.
I'm feeling
letdown.
I'm feeling very confident this team can finish top 4 in the Big Ten.
Evan, come on.
Higher.
Alex, it should not be win the Big Ten or bust.
I didn't say bust. I said they should win the Big Ten.
That's what Grant asked. You said yes. Grant asked the question. You said yes.
If that's the question, yes, they should win the Big Ten. Who's better?
Oregon's got a little bit more talent.
Who's got it better than Michigan
Oregon's got a couple more quality, more wins than us.
They are ranked 12.
North Carolina's not as good as we think.
Who did they lose to in the Big Ten? Oregon.
They lost.
USC.
They're 1-1. No, they lost to UCLA by 2.
Mick Cronin.
Okay.
Good basketball coach.
Yeah, I would say there's no reason we can't win the Big Ten.
Your schedule, too. It's favorable. We talked about that.
The only time we play Oregon is once at home. We're going to win that game.
Guarantee.
We're not going to lose at home.
Guarantee because it's Saturday at noon on Fox on 2/8.
Dante's Inferno?
It's at noon? That's 9 a.m. for them.
Oh, easy. Might win by 20.
That's Oregon has coming off. They play Wednesday at Michigan and then
Saturday
at
week.
Michigan State.
They're just staying in Michigan for a week.
Top 4 is a double bye, correct?
Top 4 is a double bye.
If we're not top 4, that would be a catastrophic failure.
Yeah, maybe that's the question, Evan.
Purdue's not as good as people think.
If you finish 5th, is that like, damn it?
If we finish 5th, I'm going to say damn it a lot. But then I'll say, well, we get to face a 4 seed, and most likely it'll be... I have no idea. It's way too early to tell.
2 years ago, we were the 4 seed.
Wow.
This team is better than
the year before that, and the year after that, we were the 8-9 seed, so...
You got to be top 4.
Got to be
top both of our teams.
I think right now, the Big Ten basketball is between 5 to 6 teams.
Purdue's the best on KenPom. They're 12. Then UCLA. Then Illinois.
Don't understand why you
Maryland
haven't beat anyone.
Maryland lost
then
today.
Oregon.
Maryland lost today.
Then our teams. Michigan State. So all the teams in the Big Ten are 12 through 22nd. There's like 6 of them I just listed off.
Yeah, I looked.
But it's early.
Michigan State, Oregon, Purdue, Illinois. That's about it.
They were saying on the broadcast that the Big Ten this year might break the record for most tournament teams in the field.
10.
Yeah.
11. Penn State murdered Purdue. I think they're pretty good.
Penn State plays effing chuck at football where like we're jacking up shots. We don't care. Our offense, we're going to score 90, and if we give up 88, we don't care. Night and day different from what Shrewsbury or whatever Strousenberry was there.
Micah Shrewsbury.
Yeah, but he had some dogs that came into Breslin Center and beat us, and I almost wanted to cry.
For Michigan side, quickly, learn a lot more in the next 2 games. They play Arkansas on Tuesday, right in your face.
Do they really?
MSG.
Tuesday.
Time
Grant?
Madison Square
It's probably
Garden.
9
9 p.m.
So
ESPN.
stupid.
The main buffet. I'll be awake. I'll be watching that.
I'll be watching.
And
for sure.
then
Okay,
Wednesday.
speaking
So it's not really exam week. Then you go Wednesday, December 18th. So a week later, but you play Oklahoma, top 21 team in the country, 9
Jeremy
p.m.
Fear's brother.
Oklahoma's
Jeremy
ranked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right now they are. I don't know how it'll be.
Jeremy Fear's brother's
it's Monday.
averaging like 20 and
That is in yeah, I saw that.
Porter
That's in the
Moser.
Spectrum Center.
Porter Moser
in Charlotte.
rematch versus him.
I thought did he leave? No.
No, he didn't
He's
leave.
dead. Well, there was a lot of weird moves last year that I forgot about.
Like
Calipari going to Arkansas.
Well,
Well,
Kentucky.
US
Kentucky was
USC's coach went to SMU.
Who's?
Yeah.
USC's coach went to SMU for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And then
Andy
Musselman
went to USC.
Yeah, what the super weird.
Well,
like,
Calipari
guys-
was getting run out of Kentucky. They didn't want him anymore.
That
Oh,
one
I
fine, but
Musselman's in our conference. Damn, those West Coast
Yeah.
teams have good coaches. Shit.
Yeah, they do. I don't. I have no. $100.
Who's
if you could tell me
Washington's?
who Washington's coach is right now.
I was just about to say that.
Danny Sprinkle.
Oh, he's good. He's
Ball
Utah
up.
State. Oh, wow. He's a ball knower. He's good. He coached Utah
Follow him
State.
up, please.
Danny
didn't beat Purdue
Sprinkle,
last year.
good looking guy.
He's good.
Grant, will you share
He's
your
a good
screen?
coach.
Alex doesn't know how to. I guess he's face.
Yeah.
He's not a good looking guy. He's an okay. He's like a standard looking white male. In his
So he looks like
He's a good looking guy. You can say it.
He's not a bad looking guy. Like he's an all right looking dude.
Danny Sprinkle. He's wearing a
He's a
jersey in
good-looking
that
dude.
picture.
Oh, that's a good picture of him. Coach Sprinkle.
Is this his first year
Got
there?
the W.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at I'm pretty sure he was at Utah State.
I
Feel
think
like
that
it.
there's going to be some teams that are just straight bottom dwellers in the Big Ten this year because
Oh,
of
yeah.
the depth, and that these teams are just poopy.
Well, I think-
Minnesota,
It's just crazy.
they will be at the bottom of the Big Ten all season.
I hope that number 2 transfers to Michigan State next year.
That kid's a bucket getter.
That was his first game in 7
Oh, yeah.
games.
The
He just
guard,
physically
the
walked in
dual
and hit
setbacks.
5 threes. I was
Didn't
like,
play in
holy
the first
shit.
half, and their offense was night and day different when he was on the court. I think he accounted for 90% of their points in the second half.
Yeah, good kid, good player.
I have no idea who he was.
Minnesota bottom dweller, USC bottom
But it's
dweller.
just crazy that everybody's talking about like the football realignment, but this does more for basketball realignment than football
How so?
realignment. The quality of teams, top to bottom, is always going to be deep. Where in football, you're never going to have the depth.
Well, yeah, the Big Ten's always had a lot of depth. So
Less
we're just
players
added more
to
depth.
fight between.
But you're always just like the basketball is just it's going to be
Yeah,
a
'cause if you-
grind to get to like you said, Grant, like the regular season championship for the Big
It's
Ten.
pure.
Like now,
The
I
Big
think-
Ten is super simple. It's every home team is going to win like 85% of the time. And then the
It's
couple
just
teams that
that
win on the road. It is that simple.
Yeah.
Thank God Michigan
Alex.
State has a bunch of Saturday home games.
Northwestern beat Illinois at home. Like that.
Well,
That's just how
Illinois
it
is
goes.
not that good.
Well, that's the Super Bowl. That kid said.
Oh yes,
Whatever.
it was their Super Bowl. You
Michigan
imagine
beats
my-
Iowa because they were at home.
Almost got Iowa.
then why
Almost
didn't
got
Wisconsin
Stanford.
win?
That's right. That's why that win was so impressive.
See, I said so. The teams that do that and win on the road against good teams,
Do
those are
do
the
that.
cream of the crop.
Do. But also, that win, I know you guys are like used to it. You think winning at Wisconsin's a breeze because for some reason Michigan State wins there all the time.
We do win there
the
a
last
lot.
couple of years.
Blackout
Michigan
drunk on
never
my birthday
does.
there.
Even Beeline's like best teams lost at Wisconsin. So that in my brain, I was like, oh, we might actually do some things in the Big Ten. I was like hoping just to sneak in the tournament.
Is Mackey
Did not help
at
that
noon.
Wisconsin's
Mm.
post
Yes.
defense is really bad, and that is like your whole thing.
Yeah, but it's
So
been
you
good to
guys just
see
cooked them down low.
because the first week of the season and the couple games that mattered, like Wake Forest, Golden didn't do much.
That
He's
game,
really
that's a
hit his
bad
stride.
loss. Quad 3 loss. It's tough.
But he's had 24 points against Wisconsin, 20 against Iowa, and also, I mean, you don't have to tell a Michigan fan. Danny Wolf, this guy, he's
He's good.
awesome to watch. He
He asked you your point guard.
He brings the ball up. He runs high pick and roll like Draymond Green. He looks like a guard, legitimately, the way he finishes around the rim. He has to be related to one of the Wagner brothers. I don't understand this kid.
He will be a problem
he's awesome.
in March. Like, I can already see that guy.
He's growing, and he's like getting better.
Going crazy in March, and everyone be like, oh, Danny Wolf! Yeah,
some of the
Yale was holding him back, Grant.
Some of the Wisconsin pick and rolls when Connor Essegian is switched on.
No, he's not even on Wisconsin. He's on Nebraska. We shut his ass down.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting my guys confused. But some of the guards in Wisconsin got stuck on rotations where Danny Wolf, 7 foot, is the point guard, and Golden's setting a fist-high ball screen. Like, what are you supposed to do in that pick and roll? And Danny Wolf is just throwing over the right to Golden to dunk it. And I'm like, this is... Unless you have guys with size that can get in his kitchen, you can't. That's hard to guard in a lot of situations.
We're built for that.
That can get in his kitchen.
I'm
Michigan State should be great basketball games.
I can't wait for it to be on Tuesday matchups. Peacock when nobody's going to watch them.
One's Friday night on Fox and the other is Sunday CBS on Senior Day.
No, it's not.
Fox 8 o'clock and CBS noon.
To
end the year.
I just nailed Senior Day.
Yeah.
What did you guys end the streak?
So Michigan's got to win that first game for sure.
I'm going to that game.
Senior Day or the one at Michigan?
I'm not going to one at Michigan.
I don't know.
Last year.
Michigan's got a just tough stretch of Big Ten games here that I'm looking at. It's just ugly.
We don't go to Mackey, right?
I don't care. We'll win. Purdue's
We'll
overrated.
Beat them at home. We're winning all our home games. Already decided that.
That's pretty much it. I just love watching. I'm just happy that they're exciting to watch again.
Do you think the Michigan State game, when's the first one?
Friday, February 21st.
Do you think both teams are ranked when that game happens?
Yes.
Yeah, I hope so. God, I want that. Think so. I want it to be back.
I think both teams are like top 17 in the country.
But can I be fair with you? Michigan will be coming off Oregon, Indiana, Purdue, Ohio State before that. So I don't know.
Stretch.
They might be in the 20s. It depends on how well they do. If they can go beat Arkansas and Oklahoma, and then you get the free wins of Purdue, Fort Wayne.
One of those. I don't think you need to win both.
I'm thinking win both. That's where I'm at.
Arkansas is going to be a problem.
I'm just telling myself Wake Forest, if that court was mocked properly, they win that game.
Grant, there's no way you're making that an excuse. I'm sorry. You can't do that.
Wake Forest beat Minnesota by 4.
No, I don't want to.
Did you see the plays?
No.
Why was it close anyways?
Alex watched it. It was absolutely insane.
I'm not watching the highlights of it.
They had volunteer kids wiping the floor, and Danny Wolf falls down 7 foot, sweaty as can be. He sweats a lot. Falls down on the floor at the top of the key. They don't wipe it. Michigan comes down, runs a high pick and roll, falls, gives it to Wake Forest, and they lay it up. And that was like basically the winning bucket.
Well, home court advantage.
But you didn't play the rest of the game. Like you just
didn't neutral site?
Have a great. That's a quad 3 loss.
I don't care. It doesn't matter.
I'm just saying, how do you lose that game? And then you want me to tell you you're going to beat Oklahoma and Arkansas?
Yeah. They turned a corner. They beat Xavier, Wisconsin, Iowa all in a row.
That's awesome.
They were ranked.
I don't care.
Grant, do you know who does the AP poll? I sent one picture of this one chick that gets the vote, and she put UConn at like 11 after they lost 3 straight games.
Xavier beat South Carolina.
Is South Carolina good?
Frank Martin.
I'm just naming teams.
South Carolina.
I mean, Grant,
I don't want to live in a world where beating Xavier in basketball doesn't mean anything.
Well, it's because you're a Butler guy. Do you want to talk about their game Saturday?
I didn't watch it. They got destroyed.
Xavier beat
I thought they'd at least
South Carolina State by 3 points.
Impressive.
And then they lost to TCU by 4.
You know what's so sad about the Butler game? I saw the spread, and I was like...
You bet it?
No. The spread was 17.5. I was like, that's disrespectful. Like, we're playing better ball. That's not fair. They just got abs. They lost by 28.
By 29.
Lost by 30, Grant.
Yeah, they got killed.
Yeah, I'm sure we didn't rebound whatsoever. I didn't watch it. Again, had to work.
It's like 79 to 52.
I'm going to pretend that game didn't happen going forward and have the confidence in them that they'll figure it out. Oh my God, we play Marquette in a couple weeks. Oh.
We have a tough non-conference game coming up. Florida Atlantic. Sneaky.
Oh, Dusty may revenge.
Sneaky.
We scheduled that when Dusty was there. Now he left.
Don't get Dusty on us. Don't get Dusty twice.
Oakland at LCA. You never know what happens when you play Oakland.
Yeah, you get COVID.
Yeah. What do we have? Oakland, FAU, and Western Michigan?
Yeah, you just tune out basketball for a little bit.
Spartans gonna be 11-2, and then they go to Ohio State.
I hate how we play Oakland on a Tuesday night at LCA. Kind of annoying.
You're not going?
Why?
No, I can't.
Why does that chap you? That they play on a
I
Tuesday.
got basketball.
Oh yeah. It's on ESPN2. Our last ESPN game of the year.
If you're playing at a neutral site, LCA should be a Friday, Saturday game.
The one we went to was like a weekday too.
Yeah, but I was on break.
Sorry.
Just a question about these
schedule.
these away trips. So when Michigan flies to USC,
they stay for the whole week.
Saturday, January 4th, they play UCLA on the 7th. They just stay that whole time.
Yeah, they set it up for every team like that. We go there.
We only have one of those trips then.
We also play UCLA, then USC like 4 days later.
And like next year, we'll probably do the same thing where we travel and stay out there for Oregon, Washington.
What do those schools do? They just get screwed? They have to fly all the time?
No, they fly
USC
out
comes
here.
for Michigan State.
And fly back, and then they have
Oregon
a couple
does.
home games.
No way. They stay, you think?
Yeah.
Oregon comes to stay for a week in Michigan. We play them,
Grant.
both play them in
Yes.
the same week.
That's crazy.
They come back.
They just set it up like that.
You can't
they play
do school that
Illinois,
way.
Wisconsin and Minnesota,
Northwestern.
Illinois and Northwestern.
Purdue and Indiana.
Ohio State, Penn State.
Not
They
close
just set
enough.
it up for the two. That's like 4 hours.
Oh, no, they haven't. We got to keep track of this for betting because they fly to Minnesota
bet the home teams.
on January 25th. And they have to fly back home, and they play UCLA on the 30th. Take UCLA.
If the teams are even remotely comparable, you pick the home team in college basketball to probably win.
Heard it here first.
Unless you
Betty's
play-
Evans.
unless you
85%.
play-
We're going to be rich.
85%.
We're going to be drowning in money. We'll have a sports
College
book named after
basketball
us.
is one of the easier things to bet. Big Ten college
Then why
basketball.
don't you?
That's when I made all my most money.
Alex,
Oh!
you should do a model, and the model's not actually stats. It's just like home schedules. And you're just like, pick this team. They're home.
I will come up with some fun facts about home teams in the Big Ten.
I'm going to do it every Saturday now. Every Big Ten game, just parlayed.
Yes.
all the home teams every
Oh
Saturday.
All the
no,
home
I don't advocate for parlays.
Oh, but you said that they would win, and my bet should
I
hit
said-
85% of the time.
Yeah, we're just talking like minus 250 money line favorites. That's not betting. I'm talking about like spreads if we're like minus 110.
No. I'm not talking money line. I'm talking at home. They're gonna cover and win.
Cover and win.
And if they're an underdog at home and it's plus money, well, obviously because they're an underdog,
Take it.
they're going to win. You have to pick.
Yeah,
Take it.
It's free money. It's
Just take
free
the
money.
Why would you not?
Duh.
Nebraska home against Indiana, coming off a 40-point drubbing. Nebraska's going to win that basketball.
Oh my god.
That's going to be like plus 400.
That would be what
Actually,
I would say
how about
to bet.
Before we hang up, let's just pick a winner right now. I'll go to the Big Ten schedule. I'm going to need you to tell me where I should put a little bit of coin this week.
Texas A&M at Purdue. Indy Classic.
Purdue.
Ooh,
Okay.
Minnesota plays at Indiana. There's nothing there.
No, that's just
10.5
a Hoosier
spread.
win.
Save your Cincinnati, Alex.
I got it. Penn State. I don't know the spread. Penn State's at Rutgers, 7:00 Tuesday night.
At the rack,
Rutgers.
nobody walks into the rack. and
Rutgers
wins.
is 5-4. They suck. They win.
I take Rutgers in that game for sure.
Wisconsin at Illinois.
Fighting Illini.
Iowa State at Iowa. Oh my God, that's a huge game. Do we take Iowa?
You're taking
Thursday?
Iowa.
No. The only rule is a top
is different.
top
Non-conference is-
5 team. Iowa State's really good.
Well, they're not top 5. They're 6th.
Iowa State's very good.
Yeah, Friday, December 13th. Indiana wins earlier in the week. They go to Nebraska. They lose on Friday
Nebraska
night.
wins that basketball game.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah, put money on that.
All right, what about this? Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Wisconsin at Butler. Who wins that?
Sorry, Grant Butler's bad.
Shit. Ohio State at Auburn? Wow. It's a good Big Ten non-conference on Saturday.
Neutral site games.
Auburn's
I don't
getting
think
fucked.
those.
Army Navy might be
Dick.
on, not on the screen.
It's neutral site. Ohio State Auburn's neutral site.
Is it?
Well, in Georgia. Yeah, sick draw for Ohio State.
Gonzaga and Alabama did that last year.
It's an hour
won.
drive up the road. All right, that's 194. That's a lot of college basketball talk for the sickos out there. Colby will like that.
It's college basketball season.
You know, it's college football playoff season and the heat of the NFL playoff race. It's all football right now. I wake up excited.
The NFL
I wish
playoff
Michigan
race
was in it,
isn't
but
exciting.
no, it isn't.
The AFC,
I
everyone's
love
in for
college
the AFC
basketball.
right
Why can't
now.
That's
we
where you're
love?
wrong.
Why can't we love all of it?
AFC has been
Too
settled.
much. It's too much.
Let's love all of it.
Do you think Jim
once.
Harbaugh thinks it's settled? Look at him.
He's either
He
going
wants
Harbaugh
to
hasn't
come
to
back
be
scored
and
a
a
get
wild card, or he's going to
I
be
know.
wild card 1 or wild card 3. That's it.
They can't win the division. What if they win tonight?
The Chiefs.
They have to win tonight. But if the Chiefs win tonight, they clinch.
The Chiefs have to lose out.
No way.
Is that the real thing?
Chiefs are 1,
No.
and the Chargers have 4. It'd be 2
It would
games.
be
2 games up with 4 or 5 left.
4 to play.
All right, fine. Good point.
Not impossible, but highly unlikely. Just love all of them. Embrace all of them. Everybody
It's too
needs to
much,
start
though.
watching some college basketball so that you're not shocked in March.
I did. I texted last night free basketball, and no one responded to me. I was up watching Gonzaga, Kentucky.
I was not up watching that. I'm sorry.
I watched it. I
No
was
response.
locked in.
Response would have been nice. Thought I was
pretty
alone.
sure I
You were
texted
alone.
back.
Free basketball. Nothing.
I was sleeping.
Kentucky
I
got
tune
another
into
lucky
the
ass
big
win.
games.
All right. That's the show. Cheers.
Cheers.